last nigga thought he was funny. Neato. Keep talking, get what you asked for. All right, here we go. Hey, welcome to the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod. Joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we're live on a Saturday morning, ready to do some podcasting. Find us everywhere you find podcasts. Just search the Blackout Tips. We'll come up. Live show tickets are on sale. Link is in the show notes. Mm-hmm. Just letting you guys know that. I believe we only have 2 VIP tickets left, right?
Yeah, yes, unless it was an update last night.
Yeah,
because you know they're coming at midnight. I hadn't checked yet.
Yeah, so if you're looking to do the meet and greet and get the poster or whatever, we told you it was going to sell out. Mm-hmm. We added more tickets. I don't feel right adding anything more than that because it really would just be
defeat the purpose.
Yeah, it wouldn't even make sense. Like people would be so rushed. So I'm sorry, but also regular tickets are available and. We look forward to that. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play games with the audience. I'm sure there'll be some prizes and stuff like that. And so we're looking forward to seeing all your wonderful faces. And of course, another quick show note. Every time you look in the show notes, there's links in the bottom, right? If you look on podcast apps, one of them is to our Teepublic Store where you can buy merch. People are going to be wearing merch, I'm sure, to our live event. I saw somebody, Miss Barnes was out last night at the Basketball Jones. She had on the Blackout Tip shirt on, our Bob's Burger shirt. So like, I know people buy the merch and I know people like the merch. Well, we have new merch. We have a new one that is old school NBA Jam video game of me and Karen, and it has all our categories for what how our measurements as far as like stats, empathy, sympathy, cussing, racism, stuff like that, with numbers next to them. So if you like that, check it out. I think that's about it for show notes. The already say the official weapon?
Folding chair.
Okay. Unofficial sport.
Bullet ball.
All right. Bullet ball extreme. Let's get into the show. This is an episode about feedback. So it's all of the stuff that y'all say throughout the week that we get a chance to like give feedback on your feedback. So we did podcasts, we did episodes. Y'all had opinions because you always do.
Y'all had something to say.
Okay, and then y'all said we would like to add on to what y'all have to say or refute it or whatever y'all want to do. And this is your chance to be heard as long as it's not mean or trolly. But the first people we always need to shout out are the people that take the time out. They go to our website, theblackouttips.com. They look on the right-hand side, and you can actually donate to the show. You can just put something on it. You can support the show monetarily. And you don't get anything for it. It's not like a premium subscription. It's not getting behind a paywall. It's just saying, hey, I appreciate what y'all do. I like that y'all here. Maybe I don't feel like being premium. Maybe I won't be bothered with all that. Maybe I just want to let y'all black folks know I appreciate your work. And many of y'all do that, and we like to give you all a shout-out whenever you do.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tithe to the Black Guy Who Tips.
New Franks, new thanks. Jason F, recurring donator. Tyrone M, Joe H, Dorothea S. We got a one-time donation from Amina D. Welcome to the new members class. Oh, wait, to the visitor. She's visiting the church. Welcome to visiting the church. And it says with a message for keeping it real and not ever going wrong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I'm be honest. I feel like sometimes we do go wrong, but it's all right. Mm-hmm. We try to get back right.
Yes, we do.
It happens to the best of us. Also, Michael Irvin, the Playmaker. Thank you very much, Michael. Waist Bees by Sura. Allison H. Mary H. Michael F. Deborah O. Stefan H. Jonathan H. The H family is in the building for this week.
They showing up, ain't they?
Jeff M. Corey B. J. Full. Early Days at Photography. Marvin B. Yes, Marvin B. Michael W. Mako W. Oh, the W's is in the house now. Okay, that's new. Warren H. Asia D. Chriselle B. Dana R. And lastly, Julian N. Thank you, everybody who took the time out to put a little something in the coffers. We appreciate you. right, we've accepted the love offer. Now it's time for people to come up and testify. That's 5-star reviews.
You only got 5 minutes. We can't be up here all night.
We got 5-star reviews. We got one new 5-star review from 4 days ago.
I'll take it.
From Vonda M, who says, an interesting and funny podcast. Hands down, my favorite podcast. Now, that's a relief because the title said an interesting and funny podcast. And you know, interesting can mean a lot.
I about to say, it can go all kinds of ways.
Interesting got range.
It sure does.
Okay, interesting is Meryl Streep. You know, sometimes people don't like something. They start with interesting, and then you be like, oh, what that mean? You know, it's like you go on a date, and they be like, how was the date? Interesting. Ooh.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
So I'm glad that the first line was like my favorite podcast. I'm like, oh, she mean interested in the actual genuinely interesting way. I've been listening to them for over a decade now. I appreciate the well thought out responses to the craziness around us. Thank you. Okay, that's what we want to be, a well thought out response to the craziness around you. Let us do that. Okay, I feel like getting not well thought out responses.
You can get them from anywhere.
I feel like we got a lot. We got a lot of those.
It's tons of them out there, y'all. If that's what you want, it is a overflow. They are tossing them out like women get tossed penises. It is a surcharge, a bonus, whatever. Surplus. Thank you.
What I said earlier.
I couldn't think of the word. It was everything but what it was supposed to be. It's more than you want. You get it when you don't want it. You get it when you ask for it. Don't ask for it. That shit, they there.
Yeah, it's a buyer's market in the not well thought out response area right now. But yeah, let's get into these episodes for the day. We had 4 episodes last week. And I like to start with the comments on our website, move to the comments on YouTube, and then come to the poll. 3042, looking at butts was the first episode. Feedback episode.
We know who made that title.
Apia said, Karen said what I was thinking. Checking out isn't checking out. Using any time off of social media or listening to podcasts that deal with the current events, there is still more than enough I will see. Checking out is more like muting. Getting less of the content.
Right.
When I read my farmer news, there's lots of content about the FDA and what's going on under the new administration. I get Rod's view why he still thinks white men have no real predators, but I also see it from the other side. If a white woman kills me, I will be like, cool, at least I was killed by one of my sisters, not my natural predator. Good on you, girl. I still would be unpleased about the killing part if I even would have feelings in my new state.
What would that be? What would that be? White people snapped? Because pretty sure it's going to be a man behind it. So either way it's involved, somebody going to be jealous of you and be like, take Apia out.
There are still other bad guys who are killing white men, like high cholesterol, but I get it. They are abstract and not frightening in the movie, way too small, and they don't even have guns or cool sayings. And then she put a Google link to the very charismatic bad guy, and it's the LDL particle for bad cholesterol. Here's what I would say. Think about it like when you list animals and apex predators and all this shit. Whenever they say something's an apex predator, they never say like the T-Rex was also preyed upon by other T-Rexes. Although more than likely, the most likely thing to kill a fucking T-Rex is going to be another Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Another T-Rex.
But I feel like it goes without saying. And so that's why I wouldn't give white men the like, and you're also victims of white men. It's like, y'all be thinking y'all part of the crew. So, but I appreciate you coming back with that thought. Brooklyn Shoe Baby says, I like looking at caked up men dancing in tight leather pants, showing abs. Hello, I'm liking, subscribing, and forwarding the post to my BFF so we can thirst together. Looking at butts 2025. Yes.
Not 2025.
Let's go, sis.
Is that the slogan?
That's how I'm getting through.
Butts 2025. Vote for me.
Just looking at butts and boobs, of course. And boobs, of course. I mean, I think that goes without saying. But yeah, it's just, honestly, there's nothing better. There's not like things are getting better because y'all are watching how bad things are.
Right.
You know? Well, if somebody's going to pull their titties out and shake them in my face, I'm going to be like, no thanks. I'd rather hear how Trump's destroying democracy. I think I'll get around to how Trump's destroying democracy. But in the meantime, titties.
He's going to keep destroying it, so
Ronan Raphael says today's poll needed multiple options, but as a multi-dimensional researcher, I settled on looking at buttocks because it doesn't matter how an interdimensional being like me is feeling. I always salute and say I appreciate you for blessing my timeline. Also, it's true about helping not bring out your phone around others. I once was with some acquaintances and the devil made one that say we should follow each other on IG. When I tried to search the name of the person next to me, IG already had all manner of butts on standby that I stopped to nod in appreciation before typing only to see nosy ass was trying to catch a view. Sir, use your phone for scientific research, all right? Play Baby Got Back. Amen. I also watch funny and educational videos about animals, Germans, obligatory scams, but that's not what we're talking about, is it now, Rod? We're both Ikibi connoisseurs, Ikibi super. I don't know if Ikibi must mean butts or something, but shout out to whatever's going on with Ikibi, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Ikibi is a song. What? A song by it can't be that. Brooklyn-based instrumental band, Afro funk. Oh, so maybe is that the kind of music I'll be listening to and I just didn't know?
Possibility.
Oh wait, no, I'll see a Kiwi music video and it's just women shaking ass and walking on treadmills. Okay, well I guess I am into that. All right.
Okay.
Learn something new every day.
Yes, that's another phrase for it. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Shoe Booty says my TikTok doom scrolling is all about animal videos, recipes, places to eat, and funny little things interspersed with actual informational content related to politics. A nice little buffet of all my interests. I give no glory to the dictator for whatever his alleged involvement was in giving it a stay of execution. He could still get fucked. I'm checking out. I'm back on sourdough and TikTok and focusing on slinging them Girl Scout cookies. It's cozy time. I hear you, girl. Get cozy. EVE says I've given up doom scrolling on social media. I look at food content, cute animals, comedy, and anime edits. My mental health can't take the constant doom and gloom, and when I'm not on social media, I read smut. I guess that's my equivalent of looking at butts. I think it counts.
Mm-hmm. It's just instead of actually visually seeing it, you making up images in your mind, visualizing it. So it's the same.
Reading is theater of the mind. I think radio is, but you guys get what I'm saying. Oh damn! I just realized I don't think I put up the last episode of the week on YouTube.
Oh no! We'll get that to you. YouTube.
I don't think I did. Oh wait, no, I did. Okay. Oh wait, no, I didn't. I didn't. That's on me.
You get it, YouTube watchers.
YouTube, I'll figure that. Y'all guys will get it today. Son of a bitch. It's always something. 7 comments on YouTube for this episode. Anime Prince says, it was nice to hear you both express how you don't want to move. A lot of these blue state liberals have a haughtiness about them because of the state they live in. New York is blue, but they have police patrolling the subway like a medieval period piece.
Right.
And it's one of the most segregated states education-wise, more than a lot of red states. Their state party has also been shitting the bed, and one reason we lost the House in 2022. If they want to talk about moving, maybe some of these red states, maybe some of them should move to these red states and help vote people out or help empower those voters to get off the couch.
Right. And not all of them, but most of the people up north that move down south are cool. But there are some people that they do actually make that move, and a lot of them because the cost of living is high, or their jobs or whatever. But a lot of times, I'm going to tell you what, I realize some of them don't do that shit. All they want to do is make down here, up there, and we're like, bitch, we don't give a fuck about no goddamn bodega. You want a bodega, go back up north. No, get a car. You're going to have to drive. It's like they take whatever their sensibilities are. Some of them move down here, and then they just want to make here, up there, and you like, we don't want that. I like the South, like it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I think it's more about voting in this case than bodegas and stuff. But, I mean, to me, I think all of the move to change something is just a people quibbling over 2 hard choices that hopefully no one's taking lightly. And I don't think there's a wrong choice to it. And you can feel adamantly one way, and I can respect it. And I also think those things change over time. I think if I told somebody something like all the people that are like, move, just move. If I said something bad is happening in the place you live to black people, are you moving? Most of them will say no. And the idea that I think is many people do not relate when they're talking about this because they're just upset and they're looking to solve a problem as fast as possible. But the the idea that this hasn't happened before, that black people don't think like this, is the part that I think is interesting, because historically black people have moved.
Yes.
And everywhere black people move, white people suddenly develop racism. Meaning, when there's very few black people, a lot of places it's not really racist. There's not enough black people to be racist to, or to care about being racist to in some of these places. Or if they are black people, they don't have a voice and they don't have any political influence to fight back against racism. So you just live there, keep your head down, and you'll be okay. But it is, whenever you see black people show up in mass exoduses, such as the Great Migration and things like this, suddenly redlining becomes a thing. So redlining is not really a Southern thing. Now, it's not this, it doesn't exist in the South, but it's caked into the South, meaning it's not a thing they needed to invent. Niggas was already relegated to stand over there.
Yes.
Where's over there? Wherever over there needs to be away from white folks. But suddenly black people move to Chicago, redlining becomes a thing.
Right.
You know, these boroughs of New York, you know, and this restrictions to this, and this is not some old school like the founding of America type of shit. I'm talking about I remember watching a documentary where they killed a black kid because his friends and him walked through an Italian neighborhood, and Al Sharpton was out there protesting and got stabbed with a knife. So we're not talking about some ancient times. Like there are issues wherever. If you would like to move, you can move. I don't know that solves your issues. I don't even know that it alleviates your issues or makes it better. And I think if black people move in mass, a lot of it actually like the issues come with them, because the problem is not us, and it never was anything we were doing. It wasn't the land we were staying at. It's never been us.
Agreed. And it's also, one of the things, any idea that anybody can think of right now, it has already been tried. Like history. This is why you need to know your history, people. History has told you, make your own towns. We did. They burnt them bitches down. Be in government. We did. They voted us out. Or came and threatened and kicked us out. Own your own shit. Yeah, they showed up in the town and got anybody that owned any stores, shot them out in the street, and dared anybody else to do anything. Have insurance and all that stuff. Yeah, we did that. And then when our shit burnt down because white people burnt it down, we went and we demanded their money. They wouldn't honor our shit. They wouldn't give us our wealth. So it's one of these things, but at the end of the day, you got to realize it's not us, it's them, and they're the problem. And at the end of the day, they don't want us to exist. And once you understand that, it's kind of easier for you to operate. You realize that, I just have to learn how to exist in the system that does not want my existence to exist. And that is very harsh and very cruel to some people and things like that, but this is why we fight back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't give up. You go, okay, you don't want me to be here, but I refuse to allow you to drum me away from something that my ancestors built.
Yeah, and it's literally, it's individually up to people.
Yes.
I never throw shade at black people that are like, I'm gonna move because I don't like it here. I've never said anything. It's not their problem. Like, it's not
Agreed.
anything they did. I'm not gonna call you weak or whatever the fuck. Like, move. I get it. I hope you find something better for you.
Right.
That being said, I would never mock a black person that stays, because they have every fucking right that they were promised.
Right.
And the only reason America has gotten to a place of some limited progress has been because black people pushed it that way.
And demanded it.
And so, you can't say anything nice about America that isn't because black people made that shit happen. All those flowery rights and the Constitution and all those white men, the founding fathers that owned slaves, they mean nothing to me. They're a bunch of hypocrites. The thing that made them mean something is black people organizing and making them pass those amendments. America's default is Donald Trump.
Yes.
That's what America is if black people don't get a voice. And so, yeah, I don't, I respect, I respect the people that feel a different way about about moving. I just leave me out of it. I'm not moving. Like I said, I feel like this stuff changes day to day. I'm sure something could happen that would make me want to move. I just don't know what it is yet. but it ain't, whatever it is, it ain't happened yet. Big Tom says, Roderick, you and Karen were on fire today, breaking down the election, Arab and Muslim Americans disappearing, and all the other stuff was so spot on. You guys are one of the few out here that actually gets it, and I stand to salute your brilliance, brother. 100 thumbs up emoji, salute emoji. Great show as usual. Thank you, Big Tom. Mm-hmm. I think this is me, Daniel, who says, hi Rod and Karen, I'm glad I found your channel. You've been giving me hope, made me reflective and more thoughtful of society's current events, and I appreciate that. Oh, we appreciate that. Mm-hmm. J Ho says, okay, they put a minute mark in it, 122:50. Okay, let me see what we were saying. 122:50. But they put a minute. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, y'all won't be able to hear this unless I share it, I think. Let me see. Hopefully this doesn't give you an echo. Makes me feel negative. I spend a lot of my social media just looking at butts. Okay, that was relatable to him. He said, yo, this the most relatable and funny shit to me, because I too look at butts and tits, and I always get a kick out of when I see followed by Rod TBGWT. Oh yeah, listen.
Oh okay. Yeah, y'all gonna see him in the mix.
Certified over there. I remember one time a friend texted me a screenshot to be like, oh nigga, look at this, and it's me having liked a butt picture of some woman, and I was like, nigga, I'm not embarrassed, I'm free. How did you see it? Right. Like, oh no, we both like butts. What will the world ever do if they find out?
Oh no.
They know what I'm about.
Everything gonna crashing down.
What you've never heard is me sliding into no one's DMs. I've never harassed nobody. I never made nobody feel uncomfortable. Listen, there are people consensually wanting us to look at their butts. That's how they make their money somehow. I don't know how the formula works, but if they put it out there, I'm gonna appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. That's it. It ain't nothing weird or creepy about it. I think it's more weird and creepy to be secretly sending me screenshots of me looking at butts. That's like us in the strip club and you looking at me looking at the strippers. Nigga, look at the strippers.
And it's almost like, oh, buddy, you gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
Project like I'm a grown ass man.
Right. It's not a secret.
No,
my wife knows I look at butts. This is not.
I hate to tell y'all.
My parents know. Everybody knows.
It is not a secret.
It's not like I'm walking around the house pulling up look at this butt. Like, it's not like that. It's like, oh, I guess I'll look at some butts real quick.
Because butts is out there. They want to be looked at.
Right. Let's see. Cynthia says, I'm on the West Coast, so I had to get virtual tickets. If your poster is as beautiful as your Christmas card, wow, I want one. Well, listen, you got to be there in person. I don't know what to tell you. You got to be a VIP. We might have some left over, and maybe we'll do something with it. Although, every time I say that, it's so much fucking work for me. And it sounds like a nice thing until I'm like mailing everybody's posters and buying those fucking poster roll-up mailing kits and fucking stickers and boxes and shit. Then I'm just like, why did I want to do this?
Cause then you probably won't do it again. Because you say it every time.
As Karen, the person who never has to do it, is talking. I'm on the West Coast. Okay, great podcast as always. Heart emoji, celebration emoji, smiley emoji, and someone put 108.25 mark, and they say Karen be knowing. So
shit, what I be knowing about?
Let's see. 108.25. What were we talking about there? Okay.
In California and shit like this, just hauling them up and taking them to jail and all these other places that are quote unquote liberal spots. Y'all claim these places are goddamn liberal spots. They're not. Like, nowhere on this country is safe. And a lot of these people, for the first time ever, are going to realize the illusion and that they have painted for themselves and the lies that they have told themselves, the superiority to the rest of these niggas. You're getting ready to get a fucking shock when they come for you. And guess what? You're not going to be able to pack your bags and leave. You're not going to be able to go somewhere safe, because there's not going to be anywhere safe for you either. And eventually...
Yeah, you were spitting. That is facts. No cap, as the kids say.
Not no cap.
The poll was, what do you use most of your social media time for? Doom scrolling, looking at butts, learning about serious things, politics, comedy, or other. Karen?
I spend the most. I don't know if this was an option. I spend the most of my time looking at anime, like memes. 'Cause I've been really into anime, and they like clip anime memes. So I've been looking at those. I've been looking at cats too.
Are they? Is it funny anime memes or are they serious?
Some of them are funny. Some of them are serious. They just animate me, and I get some of them because I've seen some of them, so they're funny to me. You know, I can see somebody looking at it and go, "The fuck is this?" That's because if you don't watch the anime, you might not get the gist.
Well, I think
of what
that
they're
would
doing.
say. Well, I guess that would count as other.
Okay, other than I'm
All right, so
in the other group.
23% of people are in other, which is the second highest percentage. You know what the first highest percentage is?
Butts.
Looking at butts.
Mm-hmm.
These are my people. We found each other, everybody. We meant to be together. We look at butts over here, and very respectfully. Okay, we're not non-consensually looking at butts. We're not walking around showing everybody butts on our phones. We just look at butts. It's our business, and we're grown. So 28% of people look at butts, which is a high percentage. Then it's other. Then it's comedy, 21%.
I can see that.
19% is doom scrolling. So the fourth highest percentage, 1/5 of our audience still just be out here doom scrolling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's an addiction. I think people can't help it. I think if people, I think people do know how it affects them, but it's like drinking seawater, salt water. You think you're gonna get sated, but you're just gonna get more thirsty, and it's never gonna make you feel good.
Right. And also it's one of those things where I do agree too. I think it's an addiction, and I'm not above the addiction. My addiction is just something else because we're all on there, but it's just one of them things you have to acknowledge that it's an issue, and that's half of the work. And I think some people don't want to acknowledge it's an issue because I think, in my opinion, some people have used that excuse as a dependency crutch to satiate their anxiety or whatever it is. So instead of being, these things are making me anxious, I need to lower these levels or adjust around these things so I'm not on 10 all the time. They use these things as pacifiers to justify their means versus actually sitting and looking and analyzing, why am I doing this? Like action, right. And that's very hard to do. And I personally don't always get it right, but I try my very, very best when I feel some of these really strong emotions to ask myself why, what triggered it, like, and actually get to the root cause of it. Because if you get to the root cause of it, you can at least acknowledge it. So when you see the patterns that cause the behavior, you can do some form of adjusting. And it doesn't happen instantly. And this is somebody who's going through this, but eventually you be like, oh, okay, I see what's happening. And you might fall for it, but you might not fall as hard. And then eventually you get to the point where you're not as dependent on it as you should be. And truth be told, sometimes people need outside help and they don't know how to reach in or look for it outside of the internet.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think, that 100% everything you said. And then let's see, I was looking after doom scrolling. It goes down a lot. So doom scrolling was 19%. The next one is learning about serious things, 5%, and then politics is about 4%. So, although I feel like politics infiltrates everything.
Yes, it does.
The worst is when it mix into some shit you don't want it to mix into.
Ain't that the truth?
Like, I hate when I'm looking at butts, and then like one of these IG models posts some like weird MAGA shit, and I gotta unfollow them because I'm just like, oh, come on.
Right.
You knew why I was here.
Right.
I was here for butts. I don't know your political opinions, but like you being like, yes, Trump back, is like, oh, butt's not that big. You gotta go, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
No butt on this
don't
earth.
Jiggle enough. Unfollow.
There's no amount of titties I could ever see that'll make me be like, well, she making points. Like,
don't
girl,
care how slow motion you do it. It ain't worth it. I'm good.
Get your dumb ass out of my feed.
Right.
I don't play. All right, let's go to the next episode. But first, a little bit of music so we can get paid later on, guys. All right. The next episode is Cold Fries Hot Lead, where we were joined by Brandon Collins of course, Medium Popcorn and Drunk Black History. We got quite a few comments. Shoe Booty says, we will be up in the drinking this year because we're going through a lot of shit. Bitch, me too, because Brandon said that about Drunk Black History. Appia says, I was never on MySpace because when it was popular, I thought this stuff is dumb and has no future. I meant social media in general. Follow me for other great predictions, maybe just on the street, because social media is obviously over as my prediction. Sean says, last time I was in the U.S., I needed a razor and some other things. I went to Walgreens or CVS. I don't remember. I got some sweets to bring back to Japan, some other stuff. I went to grab a razor. It was locked up. I put everything back and walked out the store. I would rather get things at a store that doesn't do stupid shit. Yeah, man, I know that shit drove down sales because it's just frustrating. And also, like, we're not staffed enough at this point to do that. There was a time before all the downsizing and before Amazon, when you walked into Best Buy and there was literally a person or two in every department with expertise that could help you.
Yes.
And maybe if that was the case and you decided to lock some shit behind somewhere, okay, I just need to look to my left, look to my right.
You would find somebody. In fact, they'll find you.
I would like to buy this video game. Boom. Like it wasn't always a problem, to be honest. I just think once you take 10, you add in Amazon and online shopping, fast forward 10 years, strip all the people and expertise, and now an employee is essentially just a person who unlocks things and doesn't know shit.
Right.
Now you come to Best Buy and you're like, I want to get a radio. Maybe two guys in the whole Best Buy know what to tell you expertise wise.
Right.
Everybody else is looking at shit you could figure out online if you had the time yourself. And so, yeah, they just exist as people that unlock things, and there's less of them. So now it's like one guy unlocking 10 different departments of shit. Yeah, I'm going to walk out. I don't need deodorant this fucking bad. It's not a deodorant emergency, bitch. No. I'll just go to Target or Walmart or wherever the fuck it's not locked up, dummy.
And also the thing is, the shit isn't unified across the country because depending on what side of town, even the same chain of stores within your city, everything that's locked up fucking varies. It's not like you go in and everybody goes, oh, everybody knows this, and this is locked up. It's like, no, I go to this store, it's the toilet paper. I go to this store, it's the hair products. I go to this store, it's the razor, because I've realized the same items are not locked up in all the same locations. So it's fucking confusing to the consumers.
I think the black shit is the stuff that's always locked up.
At the most,
that's consistent. Yes. It don't matter where I'm at, what side of town. If it's for black people, it's locked up for some reason. At least that's what I've noticed. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking into it too much or whatever. But for personally, I'll be looking up there like, the Just For Me is locked up again.
Open your third eye. Open your third eye. Open your third eye.
Right. You be like, the grease in the Jamaican oil is locked up, but I can put my hands on a fucking Perk Plus bottle.
Yeah, that's why I always notice. I don't feel like it'd be different products everywhere I go. I feel like it'd be the same black shit just over there, just like they want to keep us in the real world incarcerated.
Right, incarcerating your shit.
All the black products behind bars, huh? CVS, that don't feel suspicious to you?
That's racist. Right.
That feel a little racist to me, baby.
And then you turn around and tell us like we shot. Y'all know, guys, we've been locking shit up. Right. Y'all ain't been buying it. Fuck no.
All right. Shea butter over there sitting right next to the white people scalp grease, but the white people scalp grease is free. And shea butter just over there humming a Negro spiritual, waiting on me to come get the white man.
Nobody knows the trouble I see. You can hear it humming as you pass, and you be like, "Damn, let me free you, grease."
I gotta get a public defender to get fucking shea butter.
Right. So somebody gotta plead my case.
To get the
you see these 4C curls? Damn it, I need this.
To get the no razor bumps shaving cream, I gotta turn into a fucking civil rights drama.
Right? I gotta be Rosa Parks. The hell is this? Just give me this shit.
Right. I'm like, let me go see if I can wade through these water hoses and dogs to find an employee at CVS that'll free the lotion.
Right, so I won't be ass shit from the hose water you just shot on me.
Yeah, I need the cocoa butter lotion. I'm sorry, massa. Can I give us free? Anyway. The only thing I've seen locked up in my local stores is baby formula. But when I got into the city, I see the most ridiculous things locked up, like toothpaste and personal hygiene needs. If people need to steal that stuff, then go ahead and let them have it, because some people are funky. Why subject the rest of us to the stank? It's a tax write-off for the company, says EV. Well, what I would say to that, EV, is also that's interesting because they can write off most of this theft as shrinkage. So if someone is literally stealing toothpaste and like essentials, I'm guessing they need it. I'm sure there's some people that just are assholes and steal.
But I'm assuming.
But in
that
general,
they need it.
Yeah, in general, I would imagine like
we doing like the deodorant and like the toothbrush and toothpaste. I'm like, hey baby, you might need this.
Right. It's not the same as like stealing a big screen TV.
Right.
Anyway. Lastly, this is from a person who says, please don't state my name. Hey Rod, I'm sure this topic has been beaten to death, but I had to finally weigh in. I've written emails before and then deleted because I felt like it was too wordy, and I didn't want to get roasted for how long they are. Haha. I'm sure you will now. Haha. Anyways, I mean, it is long. I'm not gonna roast you because it will honestly take too much time because you wrote this long ass email. I know what you're thinking. Didn't he just roast me?
That's hilarious.
That's why I'm so good. Anyways, I'm listening to your most recent feedback show where you're talking about the Blake Lively situation. So when all this started, the whole thing seemed weird. Where you would see all types of people. Even now, if you read the comment section, you're going to see the exact same comments where people will say that they never liked her, how rude she is to the press. And I remember thinking, I've never heard these type of accusations regarding her before. The only things I've ever heard is how beautiful she is and how great her fashion sense is. Even when people were attacking her for promoting her hair care line, they were like, oh, this is such a serious movie. How dare she? She's not taking this subject matter seriously. And I thought once, yes, this is a serious subject matter, but she's supposed to be showing up in black and mourning and sad? Like, yes, promote, because for the most part, as far as I know, she has semi-retired from acting to raise her family, so who knows what her future would hold. I thought it was weird. Then just seeing so many people really just come out of the woodwork hating her. It seemed like I would occasionally see others tearing down on Ryan Reynolds and how he was never even funny. It was very weird. Well, that's JL Covan. It was very weird to me so understanding that he hired a PR firm makes sense, because like I said, every single one of those comments, I had the exact same excuse of, oh, she's rude to journalists, which I've never heard before, but I've never heard anyone care about that as to why they hate a celebrity. Made me think about the voter bias. The whole thing was really weird. So similar to the Amber thing, I definitely do think it was a tear down her character in public to be on the offense, so that if she came out about anything, then people would already be like, oh shit, oh, isn't she kind of already problematic because you've already had the smear campaign regarding her beforehand, before she could come out with any accusations. I mean, I think that's exactly what happened. I really will be interested in this trial, but I'm not even going to front. I don't even think there's a reason for people that disagree to write in about this. I don't think I can be swayed by anything other than some damning evidence in a case that we just don't know yet. This to me seems like a man who understands how the economics of the internet works and that ecosystem works. Not economics, the ecosystem works. And hired a PR firm that understands that and said, I will just smear and tar this lady. People will accept it because she's a lady. That's it. She's a woman. That's it. That's enough for most of y'all. And whenever something comes out about me, no one will critically look at what I'm being accused of, and they'll treat it with no credence because I've already told them it's an evil woman out here. And what is the proof of the evil? It's a bunch of whispers of, oh, well, like I heard she once did an interview. And then when you, like I said, I'm not like most people when it comes to this kind of shit, because I think the vast majority of people don't care, and that's fine. You should, like, not caring is not caring. I get it. Most people don't care, but then a lot of the not caring is which way is the wind blowing on the internet.
Right.
Sounds like they're hating this woman. I'm going to hate this woman, or I'm going to just start saying I hate this woman. Like
even if I really don't.
I don't know what happened, but I heard we don't like her. That's that, and I you know, I'm sure this is annoying to some people who know me in real life. Hopefully this is why you listen to our podcast, but I try not to be like that. I try to go find the shit just to be like, what am I supposed to be not liking this person who it seemed like everyone was okay with yesterday? And so I will go do a little more research. I'll read the article. I'll find the clip. I'll find it in context. And the vast majority of the time, honestly, it is something, right? Like I'd say most of the time when people are like that, you can find something where you're like, oh, I can see how y'all felt that way. But a lot of times the something is not what you're being told.
Right.
So just one quick example with Blake Lively, the thing where people were sharing a clip saying she called the cast of Vampire Diaries monkeys or something like that. Most people share that, and there's an assumption that you're making. 1, that the cast is black. 2, that it was a racial comment. And 3, that everybody was offended. But there's actually a clip of that out there. It was during a press junket. Everybody was together. It was a joke. They laughed. It was not a racial joke. It was about some other shit I think I've explained on the show before. But the point being, people won't do that little bit of research, so they just start repeating those lies. And I can't really respect people that do that. And it's not because I disagree with them saying it. I realize you're a very easily tricked and manipulated person. And that's sad because some of these people, you know, I see them and they're friends, or they're not friends, but they're acquaintances of people you know through the internet. And you're like, damn, you got sucked in that fast? Because I didn't get sucked into I don't know. It seemed like this Blake Lively thing is kind of some bullshit. I didn't get sucked into that. I saw it when it happened, was like, this feels weird. This whole, like, she's the worst person on the earth thing feels like it came out of nowhere. It's white people business. I'm not really going to look too far into it. She comes out with that lawsuit. I'm like, oh, that's the feeling I had before, where it just seemed manipulated. And like, we've seen this before with Amber Heard. And anytime a black person speaks out about anything, you see this shit happen. And I was like, okay, yep, that's why I felt familiar. And just like the Johnny Depp defenders, there's a crowd of people, be they bots, be they people, I don't know, who have accepted part and parcel every single thing that Justin Baldoni has said and his lawyers have said, his PR firm has said, and none of the things she said. And I find that to be an interesting choice, because to me, I'm like, oh, you're the kind of person that's easily manipulated. You're the fool. You're the person that becomes a flying monkey for a narcissist. Right. Because to me, I feel like if Bomani had an issue with somebody and they were talking bad about him, and Bomani was like, I hired a PR firm to destroy this person.
That's crazy.
Before they could, I would look at him different. I would not be able to go, oh, because obviously you're innocent, but you needed to destroy them, their credibility. So yeah, I get it. No, I'd be like, that's a weird fucking thing to do, dude.
Right. It's not rational and it's not logical.
Like being famous is not like some different shit where it's like, no, you have to destroy people with PR first. No, it's, if the truth on your side, then just tell the fucking truth. So anyway, I personally think people got played, but yeah, that's me. I haven't finished the feedback show, so I'm not sure if you're going to discuss, which I don't think you are. But anyway, just wanted to get your thoughts regarding this new executive order with the return to office is causing mass confusion and chaos, which I know is the reason. Reading from others is exactly the kind of thing what you stated, that the Republican playbook of dismantling a government agency so that it is inefficient as possible, then point at their inefficiency and say this is why we need to cut costs, because they're inefficient. I don't understand why so many veterans are Republican and pro-orange one, especially when he is very publicly anti-veteran. I know many who are also federal workers who do work remotely who will be substantially affected. I know one who was going to take an early retirement, which they are now apparently offering for those who do not want to come back into office.
Child, I wouldn't take that bullshit. You take that bullshit, and the second you take it, they be like, we ain't paying you shit. And you be like, I want my job back. They be like, bitch, I don't think so. They're not going to pay them people. He don't pay bills. What make you think he's going to pay? He talking about slashing and cutting. I would not take that bullshit. If I had a federal job, I was like, bitch, you gonna have to boot me at the fucking front door. No.
I also don't believe he's gonna pay him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You take that shit and then you leave and don't get paid, and you ain't gonna be able to get your job back.
Yeah.
You gonna lose all your benefits and everything. Everything he promised you, they're gonna be like, fuck that.
I don't know how true it is. So let me just start with this. It was a tweet that I saw. So this is not factually backed up by anything. Hopefully some journalist somewhere is going to find out and factually back this up. But someone did tweet that a friend hit accept on that offer and was immediately locked out of their computer. And I was like, oh, man. Like, I hope it's fake because it's too funny.
Yes.
But also too sad. But also not beyond belief that Trump would do that. So I don't know what to tell you guys. But, yeah, I wouldn't accept no buyout. They're going to have to fire me and then give me my money. The point is to make things uncomfortable as possible, get as many people to quit while also implementing a hiring freeze and cause it to dismantle. Not sure if you heard what he's doing with the IRS, which seemed very personal, which I remember his whole tax debacle, but to take your personal grievance and dismantle a whole agency, the Republican public thinks, yes, clean house, wasteful government, while praising him, who is literally working with his friends to privatize the government so his fellow businessmen can get the contracts and charge double. They want to get rid of regulations so they can siphon off as much money as possible, all while with the blessing of people who will inevitably have to pay for this. It's like watching a horror movie and it's insane. The amount of unprofessionalism and even grammatically incorrect with spelling order or errors we have received as official guidance is insane, to the point there are whole meetings wondering if the emails are spam. The whole thing is complete chaos and it's only been a week. I am not looking forward to the day by day, week by week amount of chaos we have to look forward to. I mean, you're right. We did not talk about that on the show. But I think you said it all. And I'm not your doctor, so I can't tell you what to do. But I would prescribe 10 minutes of looking at butts to you. Okay, it sounds like you need to look at some butts. It just, you can't, it's nothing you can do.
Woo-sa.
It's nothing you can do. Don't accept no quitting your job thing. Why veterans want to be Republican? I'm going to tell you why. I think a lot of veterans and a lot of soldiers and military people end up being Republicans. Gun culture. I think a lot of it is that simple. I'm not saying all of it is that simple, but I think once you are in proximity to guns and guns are part of your life, it's a funnel into conservative politics. Like, who are the people that are cool with guns? Who think it's cool to be good with a gun? You know, military people have to go out and possibly kill people and shit. Like, that ain't a liberal, like nice, fleshy, hippie thing. Like, and I think also white people, white male presidents have sort of cornered the market on this like machismo, fake machismo shit. Donald Trump looks like he's never touched a gun in his life.
Probably hasn't.
Okay? Donald Trump looks like a pussy. He not nobody's like tough guy.
Right.
But he's able to play the part of the tough guy in a way that a Democrat never can. Because even with a guy like Barack Obama looking like he's much better shape physically and all this stuff than Donald Trump. If you put the archetype of what a man should look like, Barack Obama's closer to like the ideal man than Donald Trump, right? The thing is, Barack Obama's he's got to be understandable. He has to be nuanced and reasoned. He's not just gonna get up here and play the red meat to like men crowd. He's not gonna get up there and be like, yeah, guns, right? And maybe you shoot up somebody, maybe you fuck up this, and our veterans should go do, our warriors should go to countries and kill them, and we're gonna take back this. Like, he don't feed them that way. And a lot of those guys get fed from that like Republican bullshit. So I think that's one of the biggest things about it. The dirty secret of it all is that at the end of the day, Democrats still gonna have to grow or support the American military, because that's America's number one fucking industry. So no president is ever gonna stand up to the military and be like, actually, give me the guns back. Fucking melt all the tanks down. We chilling out on this bullshit. It's never going to happen. So the veterans kind of get the best of both worlds, where they get to go and vote for the most ignorant shit. And if the rest of us save them from themselves, then they get a good government under Democrats. And if not, then they just get even, they just get that military budget and the shit they already got. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Let's see. We got 5 comments on YouTube for this episode with Brandon. This is a great episode. My podcast feed isn't updated though, says Monique, and Mo, I updated it, so you good to go now. That was my fault. Carrie says, love when Brandon is on, fun times. Agreed. Andrew says, yo fam, you make Foolishness Fridays with Karen funny and great. Wish you so much success. Thank you, Andrew.
Oh, we love Karen.
Jane says, the way I'm at the gym listening to this episode and literally can't stop laughing through Guess the Race. Kendrick voice. Yesterday, somebody fucked up my Wendy's. I had to pause my set. Hilarious as always. Yeah, I probably could have kept going. Yesterday, somebody fucked up my Wendy's. The kind of shit that make you want to shoot up a 10-piece. Shoot everybody that's in this lobby. My blick first. Then go to Arby's. All right, let me stop. Jason says, yo, when I first saw the YouTube thumbnail, I thought, hey, we're getting a Mr. Span episode. He took the glasses off. It must have gotten heated. But despite his and Justin's review of The Great White Hype, which I will never ever forgive, I love when Brandon stops by. He's always hilarious and he's been doing a great work. Also, cold fries, particularly from Wendy's, is a form of assault. They do not season their fries well enough to overcome being cold. I think it was a learning experience for everyone. That is true though. Cold fries at Wendy's are low key some of the worst kind of fries. I think
it's cold. Yeah,
I think cold fries from Burger King is the worst of the worst in my estimation.
Yes. As far as fast food, yes.
But once again, we're talking cold fries, meaning none of them are good. Like no one likes cold fries. It's not on your. Somebody like cold fries. Don't write in, okay?
No, the 3 people that love I actually wait for my fries to get room temperature. We don't need y'all.
I get it. You're a weird serial killer, and I don't want you showing up in my house. So
you love all your potatoes cold. Okay, I get it.
All fries matter. Okay.
Yes, they do apparently.
But for the rest of us normal people, all cold fries suck, so none of these are good choices. Ironically, I'd say the best fries, if you have to have cold fries to me, are actually Bojangles fries. And it's only because they got that kind of weird, like, sogginess almost to them. They become a different type of food.
They do, don't they?
I'm not saying it's good, but if I had, like, I can microwave Bojangles fries that feel like kind of close to the same thing. We
almost got it. Yes, it ain't the same, but we almost there. I've done that before. Yes,
I don't know why.
And you gonna get some seasoned ass Bojangles fries too. So
maybe it's the seasoning. I don't know why though, because
I've never got unseasoned Bojangles fries.
It's maybe because they're just so full of grease. They just cook
up
like
so
Bojangles got fries you can fold.
Yes, I can't. You know what? I can't fold them bitches.
You can fold Bojangles fries.
And they like what? I can't explain it. Like they're not wedges, but they kind of they between regular cut fries and wedges, but it's weird.
I'm not recommending any of these to anyone, but if I had to pick, they're probably up there as the best of the cold fries to me.
The best of the cold fries.
Yeah, I haven't had Checkers in a long time. Chick-fil-A cold fries is kind of weird, but maybe I had to think about Chick-fil-A. I feel like no, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let me move on. That was a weird tangent. Actually, not that weird. The poll: have you ever wanted to murder someone over cold fries? Yes or no? 83% of people agree with Karen. No, they've never wanted to murder someone over cold fries.
It's not that.
Which means 17% of our audience has had the thought. And I'm in the 17%. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Their mind. How dare you give me cold fries?
I'm in the 17%. I'm like, this is why I don't have a gun. I could be in one of these articles. How dare you play in my face? The next episode is 3044, the Target boycott, in quotes, 11 comments. This was our probably most watched episode of the week.
Oh shit.
And probably most commented on, especially on YouTube. We got 30 comments on YouTube.
Woo.
I don't even know if I can read them all.
Something to say.
All right, I'll try. Appia says, I'm the best in boycotting Target. We don't have Target in Germany, so I promise you I will never stop there. Never shop there. Instead, we have DM, which is a nice store. That's why Target has no chance here. Ronan Raphael says, there's also TJ Maxx, the Dutch equivalent of TJ Maxx. I would boycott that because they never have my size and the deals at the same time. Even though I don't shop at TJ Maxx over here, I'm boycotting them too. Well, Appia, what you would be doing is a faux cot.
Yeah, so that's a faux cot.
You don't have the ability to boycott, but you can pretend that you're boycotting.
So we call that a faux cot.
Since you don't have the ability. Ronan Raphael also, Abby also said, companies do what's best for companies. They thought doing these initiatives will help them with the image in the end, that with profit, but they cost money.
Public relations, yeah, they didn't want to actually do anything. And the second they was like, that's what make us look good, cool, but we ain't trying to do no work.
Yeah. If the measures don't give return on investment, they will be gone. It's pretty rare that a company does it out of conviction. LGBT and right-wing politics. We have an election next month. Our right-wing party, AFD, is like the Republicans in the U.S. Elon now openly supports them and does endorsements. Fun fact, the top candidate is a lesbian woman who is married to a woman from Sri Lanka, and they have 2 children. It confuses me completely, and I can't fit it in my head. She has all the right-wing sayings, from your country, but also she says family is their children are... something. Family is their children are. This is like third language. But yeah, honestly, I think Trump is very similar in that he does not stand up for most of the things that he says in his politics. Even the conservative, bigoted things that he says, he doesn't actually meet those standards, if we're being honest. And I know it's not a popular time to say that because, he's the worst, but Trump never really seemed to have a problem being around black people. Like he was around black people in hip hop and shit. As long as black people were complimentary of him, because he's such an egomaniac, he loved black people. Yeah,
people rapped about him and all types of shit. Plenty of rap songs about him.
He loved being part of that symbolism. Not that I don't think he's a racist. I just think that he didn't have a problem being around LGBTQ people or Democrats or trans people. All of these people were people he was cool with on his way up. It's just, you don't have to live your raps over there as long as you're rapping what they want to hear. So to them, it's just like, I don't give. It's like the first time you heard Stay High All the Time by 50 Cent. And he's rapping about smoking weed. And then you find out later he never smoked weed. And it's like, at the moment he was rapping though, I believed him.
True.
That is basically what Trump is. He don't I'm against abortion. I'm such a Christian. They don't believe it. He don't believe it.
Right.
When he's rapping, it's fine. That's what they want to hear. Ronan Raphael said, members of the minority group leading or supporting oppression no longer surprises me. Someone who I finally cut out from my life got a scholarship to Germany, and that's how he left Nigeria, along with email scams that he was into. It should have been a positive story, but he somehow fell in love with AFD while in Stuttgart and started sending me videos. First was of a black man complaining in Germany about way too many immigrants from Afghanistan, Syria, and Germany. I knew that person speaking had an African background, and it was an AFD event. I asked former pal, after you kick out the Afghans, Syrians, they'll let you stay? He has Muslim name, by the way. I boycotted him forever. Abia says, when I see something like this, I think what was said on the show, how can I care more about you than you? I highly doubt that the AFD would give out scholarships to African people. They won't. Kirby Jones says, I haven't been to Target since the shutdown. The long lines and junket stores took a lot of their shine. That's interesting. That has not been my experience at Target after the shutdown. But it probably depends on where you stay, because maybe it's a black Target and they don't do right. I don't know. But over here, if you go to the white Target, it's still pretty pristine up in there.
Very spacious.
But if that's where I can get black brands, I'll be up there. I agree with much of what Rod said. It's a knee-jerk, emotional, unorganized response that won't last longer than the news cycle. It's not national, it's not publicized, and it's about 1,300 people on Joy Ann Reid's comment section. Please, not when the Montgomery bus boycott was over a year and well organized with fail-safe ways for us to support each other, and it hit the Montgomery and their pockets. We are already infighting on what the tactics should be, and there's no way for us to support our black businesses and make sure that we stay afloat.
Right.
In addition, Target will not feel a thing, and even if they do, I don't think they care because it will be a short-lived hit. Them other folks are happy to come shop at Target because they dump DEI. Yeah, that's what's interesting about all of this, and it's definitely because of their numbers, not because I think it's not because that I think these white conservatives are super organized. I think a lot of their activism also is happening online, but the thing that I have noticed with the white boycott is just that it's so many people that even if it's just a small percentage of white people that feel this way, they make a big stink online, and whenever they get their way, they will start buying shit, which is something that I haven't seen in any of these online activist boycott calls in years, especially from black people.
Yeah, they will spend their money.
Yeah, I haven't seen from black people very many we need to boycott this thing, but then we need to go and take that money and time and put it here. And I'm not saying that isn't happening at all, because I know with this latest move, people are trying to figure out if they can do a boycott. So that's something that's different. And hopefully they can organize that and it works. But what I'm saying is, like, for example, people didn't say, I'm done watching the NFL. Now let's take our Sunday afternoons and we're going to support the WNBA or the NBA or so, like they didn't say that. They just went, I'm done watching the NFL. That's not the same as the boycott. That's just being mad. And these organized white racist people seem to have like we don't fuck with Harley Davidson. Oh, they dropped DI. I'm gonna buy Harley Davidson.
Right.
And it's sad because and this is why I say I don't necessarily believe like the boycott itself is righteous, because these companies being such capitalistic enterprises flowing whichever way the money goes, that's not really proof anyone was right. That's proof that's where the money was.
That's where the money is.
So I don't trust that either. But when companies do the right thing, I do try to support the companies that do that, or at least be mindful of it. Like, so when Chick-fil-A says, actually, we are done with these anti-LGBTQ charities, Dan Cathy is no longer running the company, and they have been like that for years. I'm like, okay, yeah, I will eat Chick-fil-A again. I personally am fine with that. Like, that's what I wanted you guys to do. You did it. When Papa John said we're getting rid of Massa John, I said, okay, all right, that was the right thing. I know you can't like kill the man. You can't put him in jail.
Right.
I understand the limitations. It's just a corporate structure and enterprise. The motherfucker did found the company, so I assume somewhere he's got shares, his profit. Like,
right.
I never thought there was. It's like when people say, "Oh, we're gonna make this racist person sell their in an NBA team." Okay, we made him sell his NBA team for $6 billion. Well, motherfucker, that's the cost. Did you want him gone or do you not want him gone? Right. There's no way to have him gone and he don't make money off the thing he created.
Right.
So unfortunately, he gonna have to get paid to walk. But now if you want to support the LA Clippers, you can do so with a guilt-free conscience that you're not supporting this racist in charge. Mm-hmm. It's just these are bad things you have to deal with, and life is bad sometimes.
Right, and there has to be some form of compromise. You can't come to the table with a demand and not have some form of a compromise. Yeah, I
just think you are compromised. Yes, period.
Agreed.
Like, it's America. It's life.
It's America.
You're compromised by breathing this shit, like just living and existing in it. None of us gets to be 100% clean. It's just the fucking land we're on isn't even ours.
Right.
And it wasn't stolen by me. It was stolen by another motherfucker that stole it from somebody that whose it actually was, and then fucking rented it to me. So it's not like I wake up every day and be like, I want to pay my rent because I hate indigenous people. None of us think like that.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's very interesting to see like how the money moves the companies. And maybe it's because I'm Gen X. I've never believed the companies. Like, even when I was a kid, Like even like I've all and it's probably fucked up because that's probably where a lot of my comedic sense of humor comes from. But even when I was a kid and they were doing like Calvin McDonald's commercials, I didn't get a sense of black pride. I was like, oh, okay, at least they're catering to blacks.
That's it.
At least they're acknowledging black people exist and they would like to make our money. That was all I got from those McDonald's commercials. I never was like, and I'll be Calvin now. Time to go get my degree in fries. Like, no, it's not about that.
I've never got that feeling, and I guess me just being around a lot of black people, this thing that your job is supposed to be this extra special thing. No, most of what I've been about, nigga, I got a job, they pay my bills, they stop paying, they don't pay me, I don't come to work type of thing. Like, they was like, it was like a job was like some shit you had to do. And also people have talked about this, and I do believe this. I think that people used to have jobs, and then there used to be a lot of shit that people used to do outside of jobs, be it church, be it book club, be it sewing club, be it bowling club, be it something. There used to be other things that you did out, these third places that people call them. There used to be other things that people did outside of their job. And a lot of people, particularly during COVID, dropped these things, and they never brought these things back in their lives. So now they're looking at their jobs to fill holes that were never meant for a job to fill. It was never meant for a job to be your all in all. That's not the purpose of a job or a company or a corporation whose thing is we're about profits. We're about profits. That like we about numbers. You either saving us money or making us money. That's how most jobs function. No matter what you do, your job is you either got money coming in or you got money leaving out. Like that's all it is. And when you tell people that, it's very shocking and surprising to people when they go, my job don't give a fuck about me. No, bitch. You stop doing your job, they're gonna push your ass out the front door. You stop performing, you stop doing whatever the required contract is, you are no longer there. And that's the reality of a job. And jobs don't want you to think that. Jobs want you to believe that they're you're all in all. So you fucking work yourself to death, and the important shit like your family, the important shit like holidays, the important shit like birthdays, baby recitals, functions, vacations, you won't do that because in your mind, the job is the most important thing ever. In 60 seconds after you die, your job will be placed on Indeed, and they will keep it trucking. So, I think a lot of people have bought the lie that they've been told that jobs are families, we're the best. No. If you have a job that they have great benefits, great. If you have a job that they go above and beyond and they care, that is great. But that is not the function and nor the obligation of your job. The contract is, I show my ass here, I do whatever the requirements are, I do not take my ass home.
Yeah, I agree. I think but yeah, anyway, I think that's a big part of like how people started looking at corporations like people. Like the court wasn't the first ones. Supreme Court wasn't the first people to be like, companies are people and have like an ideology and like human rights and freedom of speech. And I think that happened in our advertising first. And a lot of people were desirous of it. I think a lot of people want to believe these lies, but maybe it's just our age, but we're, as clearly as you can hear from these last 2-3 minutes, neither of us were very much fell into that. So, and maybe it's just being black. I don't know. But it could also be an age thing, because I've heard younger black people that really felt very let down by corporate America not being the family they promised. So maybe it's more of an age thing than a race thing. But it's definitely something, because I don't know anyone my age that believes these companies will uphold the things they say. I'm not saying they don't believe they should uphold the things. I'm just saying most of the people I know understand that if they believe that, they're going to be at work fighting, and they're not going to be very well liked. Everybody I know who's like decided to take on this fight at their company is like, they know they're going to be up in HR.
Yes, and they've accepted that, and that's part of, for them, that's a part of the process. And it is one thing where they do get younger people, because how I feel about jobs now is not how I've always felt about jobs. It took some adjusting, some time, some learning, some getting disappointed, some getting let down, some getting fired by no reason of your own. You work your hardest, you show up every day, you done everything you're supposed to do, and them motherfuckers will still look you in your eye and say goodbye. And so it takes 1 or 2 times for that, for you to wrap your mind around the reality that this shit isn't important, and what's important are the people that's gonna be there when that job fucking leaves, because your family and your friends, your loved ones, they're gonna be the ones you're gonna have to look and interact with when you no longer have that job that you held so dearly.
Yeah, also, like, if I don't have this job, I wouldn't talk to most of y'all. So I know we're not really friends.
Agreed.
This is not my family. Erica says, thank you for your thoughtful commentary about Tabitha Brown and Target. I will not be boycotting Target or any other retailer that doesn't align with my belief. Doing so will result in limited options for good. I'm disappointed by Target's stance, but not surprised. Sean says, I'm often amazed at how one party wants people to get jobs based on their race, sex, gender, religion, and sexual orientation, but the Democrats are the ones painted as being against meritocracy. Listen, if you are a mediocre cis white Christian guy, you are one that's hired based on your race. Yeah, Republicans are, anyone that falls for the bullshit, fuck them too, because I mean,
right,
just look at these confirmation hearings. They're literally just putting fucking white people that are terrible and unqualified up there and going, well, yeah, because they're white. They're qualified because they're white.
Yep, that's qualification.
Sure, he's a drunk rapist, but he's also white. So what the fuck y'all gonna do about it? Rona Raviel says, in Stephen A. voice, please. I will try. Why are you always putting me to work? Why can't you just write
we need to start charging you a fee.
Can't you just write normal like everybody else? I gotta do a performance. In these times that we find ourselves, it's high time the black community stops being torn apart by external distractions and lets us address the elephant in the room. When are we going to boycott people who disrespect middle name bearers? I asked the community when. I need an update now. Thanks for the great breakdown as always, Rod and Karen are the best. Don't y'all agree? If you don't agree, I'll boycott you immediately. Evie says, I don't think what Tabitha said was bad, and honestly, those people who go online and talk about boycotting, in my opinion, don't live their raps most of the time. I think a big chunk of them do it for content and then turn around and shop where they claim they're boycotting. You know what though? Low key, I really do think that.
Yep.
Like, especially when someone's like, I would never support like Amazon or something. I'm like, nigga, we all know they're evil. I don't know. It's like saying oxygen is evil. Well,
right.
Are you going to stop breathing? I don't know. Sometimes the evil is just winning because it's everywhere.
Right.
Like, all you've done is made your life inconvenient. But it's not like Amazon looked up and said, guys, earnings were down fourth quarter. We lost Tiffany's account. Fuck. Where are we going to get those Brita filter money back?
You are not that important. And I also think a lot of people really think that they are actually more important to the bottom line of these companies than they actually are. And I really hate to say that. Like you say, it's like, yes, the individuals, but either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. And a lot of times these mass exodus y'all think are happening, a lot of times are not happening, because if they were, we would hear news about it.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know. Like, the companies are not going to come out and be like, we lost 75% because this, right? But whatever the number is, it's not going to be 75% in the first place. It's going to be 0.075%.
Agreed.
And it could be whatever. The companies manipulate the numbers all the fucking time. It's just, there's no solid way to get through all this shit. It's very complicated. I'm not even talking shit about people or blaming them individually. Like, if you don't want to do something, I think people should be more honest with themselves and be like, I just don't want to have Amazon Prime on my tablet or whatever. Then don't have it.
Right. You have the right to do that.
The idea that like you're gonna affect the company and they're gonna change some stances, it's very unlikely because of how fucked up our society has become. And honestly, a lot of the people are not doing the work of being collective in order to claim the victory they would like to have.
Agreed.
You would have to be collective and not individualistic. As much as we're talking about brand, like Tabitha's individualistic, the brand is individualistic. Everybody online is an individualistic ass brander by themselves. And it's by the nature of social media.
Right.
Your account is named for you with your picture on it, more than likely, whoever's talking. You're a brand too now. And so it's really just us using our brands to take swipes at these bigger brands. But yeah, what would really need to happen if we wanted these things to affect change is some sort of actual mass organizing that includes some accountability, includes some community, includes some mutual aid. Ain't nobody trying to do all that.
Yeah, and it would include forms of commitment and things like that. Like you said,
that's what I said, accountability.
Yeah, we're not going to do any of that.
How do I even know that you wouldn't shop at Amazon after you told me you wouldn't? How would I even know?
You don't.
Right. But I can know if you caught the fucking bus.
Yes.
If we're in Montgomery and we said, ain't nobody catching the bus, we'll give you a ride if you need a ride. Just coordinate with us. And then I see your ass hop on the bus. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? But if you say, man, down with Target, I ain't fucking with Target, fuck Starbucks, you could go to Starbucks. I'll never know.
I will
never know. If you can go to Target, and that's why I don't expect these companies, even when they take a hit, I don't expect them to like put out the bottom line all the time anyway. But when it's a negligible hit anyway, there's not much to report. So I wouldn't know if this is effective or not. And I've seen too many times both sides take credit for these companies struggling, which I don't even know what that means. The NFL struggled with ratings for a year after Kaepernick, and it was racist people saying they were the cause, and it was pro-black people saying they were the cause. And honestly, I'll never know what the cause was.
No, we'll never know. And you know, and it's also one things where I think that a lot of these people, that not all of them, but a percentage of the people, it's something in them that they want to feel superior. So I think that's why a lot of them do this.
Some of it's that, but that's what happens when you're an individual brand.
Agreed.
Right? You your brand gotta be better than somebody else's brand.
Yep.
As opposed to, like I said, I'm just so glad we have this show. I'm so glad that we get to be honest and free. I'm so glad we don't have to perform. I'm so glad that people come here for the honesty and us being more thoughtful, because I feel like what we're saying is the kind of thing you say on social media and then just motherfuckers are in your mentions and talking shit about you.
Yeah.
But I think this is also the kind of thing where I can say it here, I can say it to you, I can say it to someone in real life, and most people will identify because they actually are understanding, they're living this. They're like, yes, I felt this way before. I've seen this before. You're right. These companies are problematic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna be able to change everything about my life in order to find a not problematic way to live.
Agreed.
And so I just feel like what we're saying is very common sense. I don't think it's like revolutionary or edgy. I just think common sense feels edgy these days because people be fronting. We don't have to front on here and be like, you'll never see me in a Papa John's, and then in the background you see two empty pizza boxes
behind me. This says Papa John. And also it's one of these things, everybody is compromised, but some of the people want to pretend like they're not compromised. Unless you completely go off the grid, you're going to be compromised. Unless you, and even then, depending on what kind of land you're on, you're still going to be compromised. Like.
Well, let's not go down that rabbit hole. It's fucked up.
Agreed.
We all just living in a fucked up world trying to figure it out. I think a lot of stuff is just trying not to take advantage of people. Not,
right.
We know what a good person is versus not a good person. And I think there's a huge difference between, there's a huge difference to me, and like far be it from me, but this is just my opinion. There's a big difference between, to me, somebody that saw Chick-fil-A divested from those LGBTQ things they were doing, and said, okay, I'll eat Chick-fil-A again. And a motherfucker that was like, when they was out there being like, yeah, we over here donating to anti-gay charities, and they was like, well, I'll be eating only Chick-fil-A. I'm doing the all Chick-fil-A diet this month. To me, there are two different people there.
Yes, they are.
Some people will say they don't see the difference. I personally do see the difference.
Agreed.
So that's as far as I'll take it.
And there's nuance to everything.
Plus, we live in a capitalistic society. I'll just come to problematic. I did notice when I was in Target the other day that so many of the black hair care products are on clearance. So who knows what that means? I'm not sure. Yeah, listen, I do need to go in there and see if they got that Afro pick cutting board. I know I'm a corny person, but I want it.
I've wanted it since I've seen it, but it's hard to get your hands on that bitch.
I know they only made 12 of them because they don't take Tabitha seriously.
Right.
But I wanted one. If it's in there for 75% off, then I'm just going to have to break the boycott line. I'll see you niggas in Selma. I'm sorry.
I'm going to push y'all out the way. Excuse
me.
Could you tap that white woman over there?
Right. I'll be like, y'all ought to be ashamed of y'all selves messing up these good white people target. I'm just holding a Afro pit cutting board.
I know. That gonna be me.
Y'all leave Missy alone.
Could you put that in the basket too?
All right, when they ring me up, is we sick?
Y'all gonna be mad at me then.
Oh, they got a Starbucks in here too. Well, I don't mind if I do. More tea, sir.
Child, I know I was the problem because, child, when Paula Deen shit went on sale, I was like, ooh, Paula Deen shit on sale. I was breaking all the kind of picket lines.
I'm not sure if that means they'll stop working with black businesses, but I'm guessing we won't see as many as before. Yeah, that's the ultimate part. Let's see. Trey says, hey, Rod and Karen, thanks for doing this episode about Tabitha and Target. I absolutely understand how much of a gut punch these announcements by Target about ending DEI initiatives is, considering how much money we black consumers spend at Target. But I would definitely need more details about what's going to happen to the black business products Target sells. All the articles about them ending everything don't give it enough details as far as I'm concerned. In the articles about the situation, will Target be ending contracts altogether? Will they just stop selling all the products immediately? Or will they finish out the contracts and not renew? Or will they continue selling everything and just not promote the stuff like they normally do in the store? It's just not enough information for me to go out to Tabitha, but I understand people's frustration. I really don't think that would help black business owners whose products might still continue to be sold there. Again, not enough specific information being told about this. If it turns out they are going to not keep up their end of the contracts they signed with these business owners, then yes, boycott away if you need to. I think if that happens also, you'll see the black business owners say something, because if you breach the contract or you break the contract and say, we're officially just not living up to our side of it, I would imagine, look, I don't know, I'm not in these businesses, I would imagine that they immediately will be able to say, I'm going elsewhere with my products, right? Whether it's come get it from my store, whether it's I'm going to find my stuff in Costco or whatever. Costco would also be, if I was Costco, I think I would see an opportunity in the market that now that people are saying, like, they know we in the DEI game for real, and then these fake ass companies are abandoning ship. I'm looking at a Tabitha Brown. I'm looking at Mail, or however you pronounce their hair products. Like, I'm looking at them like, what's up? Like, y'all want to be in our stores? Because look, we got a new influx of black people that are trying to do like this buy-in and boycott. And
we can sell your shit in. Y'all know we can do bulk now.
Yeah.
We got you covered.
Y'all want 7 Afro pit cooking boards?
Come on.
But I do appreciate Reverend Al doing his buy-in protest. I guess you could call it at Costco. That was a really dope thing to do. Thanks again, Rod and Karen, for taking the time to speak about the situation. Thank you. Like I said, 30 comments on YouTube. Woo, here we go.
Y'all had something to sell on the tube.
Yeah. Let's see. Newest first. Okay, there we go. Complex Simple Man says, I appreciate your perspective on this. I spoke on this recently, but not knowing about Tabitha at the time, it's a no-win situation for an individual. We need organization before mobilization, or we will continue to lurch from offense to offense. Dark Namja just put winky face emojis and also said, only AA for college entrance was overturned. Affirmative action. White women are still benefiting from affirmative action in the workforce. They will never overturn that. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I would never say never with this affirmative action stuff.
It's gonna be interesting because they the number one beneficiaries of it, and when they stop getting them CEOs, CFOs, a lot of them upper suite jobs, we'll see.
Mike Tom Willis says, great podcast full of context and nuance. Joanne says, buy Black February. I don't know if that's a thing that people are doing. Let us know. Mona Lisa says, why not buy black all year? Why just February?
It's like it's Black History Month.
why not just all year?
That's hilarious.
Mona Lisa says, thank you, Rod and Karen, for your nuanced thoughts on this. I'm personally trying to move more out of a space of grace. Remember that all black folks are in impossible situations in this country a lot of the time. Tabitha ultimately is not the source of the problem. White nationalism is. I wish the best for all black business owners, brands, and targets because this has to hurt on multiple levels. P.S. is a lifelong member of Glasses Gang. Y'all glasses are fire. Looking forward to the live show next month. Oh, we're looking forward to seeing you. And the thing I would also add too, because this happens a lot whenever people talk about black business owners, whatever your politics are, you start applying them to the black business owner as if the black business owner agreed.
Right.
We don't know that Tabitha Brown ever agreed to be a collective activism over individual person. That's a line we made for her. Like, you need to suffer with the community and give up your bag. And I don't know that that's ever been her politics. Now, you can judge her for not having those politics, but I would say that those politics existed before this and will exist after that.
Agreed.
So, like, it's like they do this every year, but someone wrote an article about Kendrick Lamar performing at the Super Bowl. It's like, his politics get a little more murky as he performs the Super Bowl. And I said, no, they don't. No, they don't. You said the same thing about Beyonce. No, her politics have been pretty fucking clear. There's never been a time where I looked at Beyonce and it was like, she would never do a Super Bowl. You made that line of demarcation.
Right.
And you decided that was a thing she shouldn't want to do without compromising her other politics. I don't think those two things align. I think Kendrick Lamar being a person that sells out arenas and makes that money is the same kind of guy that would do the Super Bowl. I don't see any reason he wouldn't.
Right.
I didn't even think it didn't bother me when Rihanna was back. I was like, yeah, she was upset over Kaepernick, and then time went on. Kaepernick got old, and she was like, all right, I am a music artist.
Right.
It is what it is. But yeah, it's so funny when people do that. Like, oh, so I guess she's not living up to her politics. What did she say? Show me the quotes where she said we need to boycott this or that or the other. She didn't say that. You said that. Anna Ray Prince says, as we get further from the civil rights era and with the rise of social media, I don't believe in solidarity among black people as I used to either. From distasteful jokes about ancestors to constant make sure you get that bag narrative, we've largely begun to transform into basic Americans. Outside of Al Sharpton, I haven't seen any other group jump in to organize anything against Target. Just a bunch of people saying they don't shop there, which is hard to do if Target is the only store in your area. And finally, to be honest, I think we should be more focused on McDonald's than Target because that one feels far more egregious. Honestly, dog, that last sentence is facts. I can't believe they gave us Calvin and McDonald's McNuggets loving and did us like this.
Right?
They did us dirty, man.
That was a bop.
McDonald's hurt. Target don't hurt because I always felt like Target was a kind of white place.
McDonald's was giving us R&B commercials.
I always felt like the joke about Target was that it was very white, but black people felt bougie shopping.
I thought that was a joke too.
Slightly more upscale than a Walmart, and so it was like it's slightly more upscale. So I'm gonna go ahead and shop here, and it was like, oh, Target. I thought it was just a joke. And also I didn't feel like it was like the black community. I just felt like it was funny to us, but not in a. Target never felt like it belonged to me as a black person. That's just my feelings. There are certain establishments that probably are not black owned that feel like black people, like it's our culture. I would say Target was not one to me. Popeyes, which I'm pretty sure is white on, but oh man, I'll move on. Jinxful says, I subscribe with
Love that chicken at Popeyes.
I subscribe with the concept of boycott, which was introduced. I was introduced to it on Urban View and what Al Sharpton did, because getting folks to boycott feels impossible these days. Like y'all said, folks just throw that word out there when they're upset but won't back it up.
Right.
It's probably a better strategy to just convince people to spend their money in black spaces more. I agree. You want to still shop at Target or whatever, cool. I'm not judging or addressing that. What about just put XYZ black business in your rotation? It's a slower method, but if you can get folks to start buying one or more items consistently from black businesses, we'll probably get much further than having the same boycott argument that happens repeatedly online. And too many of our black leaders are in the pockets of these establishments, says David, who replied to Jinxful, which I guess I don't know if these are black leaders in the pocket of big Target. Is that what we think is happening? Actually, you know what? I'm taking my thumbs up back from David. I don't think that's what the problem is. Anyway, What I would say is, I think the boycott idea is better and more sustainable. And also, that is a sacrifice because you will probably end up paying more money for black businesses individually than you would by going to a Target, which is the whole point of them getting in a Target in the first place.
Right, to keep the cost down.
Was to help reach more people. But, you know, there's several businesses and stuff that I buy where I'm like, it's black people and I just want my money to go to these black people. And if that means it takes 2 weeks to get my candles, if that means the candles cost, that like there's never really gonna be a sale where I'm like, what, like the sale that I found at what was this place again? Yankee Candle. If I can't go to Yankee, like I go to Yankee Candle, it's 75% off, and you get something free for walking in the door. Black place might not be able to do that because their bottom line is different and the costs are different.
Right.
I need to understand that and accept that as part of my sacrifice to support these businesses.
Yes.
Instead of walking in there, folding my arms, rolling my eyes, and being like, "How come everything in here costs so much?"
Yes, and complaining about the price.
That, you know, why? How come y'all candles got to be like, if people can push that to the side and understand that is the sacrifice now. So instead of the sacrifice being, I won't shop at Target, fuck y'all. The sacrifice becomes like, I will shop here and pay extra, and Target will not see that money, but I need to make a point, and this extra money I'm paying is part of that point. I respect that.
I do too.
Jinxful says, I like Tab, but I think what her comment might be missing is that if these companies are saying they're not supporting you or other diverse brands anymore, even if we stay shopping there, they still might pull your products. They pulled them before when under pressure, but I completely understand her point and feel her. She made some good points. I had a good idea in terms of only buying the black stuff from there, but like you said, we're lacking the organization to execute. That has happened in the community and not online. Too many voices and distractions in that place. I agree. The thing I would add is I don't think her argument was like, if you guys buy our products, they won't pull them, as much as it was, if the data supports our products still sold when this deal is up and I have to pitch it to Walmart or Costco, or I have more leverage than them pulling the plug on me and then the sales numbers dwindling, they will use that as confirmation that black products don't sell, as opposed to you guys destroyed the goodwill of the black community and that's why they didn't sell. Once again, neither of these are good choices. Okay, so I don't know that even if everyone did what she wants them to do, I don't even know that will put her in a position to truly bargain and get a good deal. But it might. We need to acknowledge that it might, because I think too much of this is turned into very black and white. This is right, this is wrong. But the truth is, it probably would put her in a position of, hey, when they pull my deal or they say they weren't supporting us, I still sold 3 million cutting boards. And so now that I'm talking to another distributor, a manufacturer, now that I want to go buy my own warehouse, now that I want to go to the bank and get a loan to do my own business, I have some leverage that I would not have had before. That could be true. I don't know, because I don't do this business. I'm not in these rooms.
Right.
But I'm not going to treat her like she's a bad faith actor. I think she's done enough. She's said enough for me not to just consider her, like, to cast her out. Karen got that Jon Snow fur on, says Leonard Brothers. Oh, saw him last night too. Shout out to Leonard Brothers.
Hey, Leonard.
Kenny Cole says, thank you for your rational response. We all knew the Black Square posters were only participating in the corporate activism, and it was a trend for them. Organizations have been phasing out or eliminating DEI initiatives for the past 2 years. Personal observation and word of mouth by employees. Yeah, we've covered that on the show before. It's actually factual data, like it's backed up. They've been eroding the DEI departments for a couple years now. I also think, low key, this is a way for companies to get out of the business altogether they never wanted to be in and blame Trump.
Yes.
People don't take the time to consider that social media is made for the hot take and the initial emotional reaction gets the engagement. The online boycotts have never amounted to much in the wild, and they fade so quickly. The people who offer realistic solutions and have experience with organizing are often downvoted or ignored. I saw people worried about Walmart being their only option and asking for suggestions of how they could shop in ways that align with their morals. The reasonable solutions were buried in the comments instead of being pinned or liked by the poster. Mrs. Me 1976 says, "Oh my God, Karen, stop saying agreed and right. You are Rod. You are fire. Good analysis and opinion." Ma'am. First of all, you gonna have to let Karen cook. Okay, and you can't get away with complimenting me and think I'm gonna be like, "Oh well, yeah, fuck my wife. Agreed. High five, ma'am." Secondly, like, she's an active listener.
Yeah, and I'm a participative listener.
Yeah, it's reassuring. It helps me cook. It lets me know that my points are being received and heard. I also do similar things when she's talking. I'm a little less. I'm the one that's more likely to stop talking if somebody is interrupting me because I'm in my brain. I'm trying to make good audio and see if maybe like, oh, are you interrupting me because you want to say something, or are you interrupting me just because you agree with me? So I can understand that it could be a little awkward, but you know what else is awkward? Life, talking in real life. Doing this shit for a living is hard. It's not always smooth. It's not always flawless. But no, I appreciate Karen's energy and attentiveness. So yeah, no, Karen's not gonna stop saying agreed and right.
I'm not, and also
you know I love to be right. What the fuck? I got a whole song. That's the best thing in the world, is me being right about shit. So if I'm actively talking to somebody that's like, "Oh my God, Rod, you are right," I'm like, "Yes, I am right."
Is right. Yep, Rod is right. Rod is right. Rod is right. Yep, Rod is right. Yeah, Rod is right. Whoop, what was that again? Oh yeah, Rod was right. Rod was right.
And also, it's one of those things where, like Roger said, I'm a very active listener. I am a participating audience member, even though I'm quote unquote not in the audience. But me and Roger get in this room, we're having a real conversation. I want him to know that I'm aware and I'm there. And also I want him to know that I am agreeing with him. But also, low key, in my personal opinion, this is a way of you saying that I don't have no voice of my own and I don't have any opinions on my own, in a low-key slick way for me go right. No, I don't always agree with my husband, and I have my own views and my own opinions and my own points all the time. And a lot of times, for some reason, people have a tendency to target women when it comes to this, because if Roger was always agreeing with me, would you write up here and tell Roger to quit agreeing with me? Yeah. You know, all jokes aside, like would you make this same statement?
And I do it. There's all kinds of times where you going off and I'm like, right, yes, agreed. Fuck they talking about? And I clicked on their name because I thought it was Mrs. Me. It's Mr. SME. Of course. Mr. I knew it was a damn man.
Rod was right. Yep, Rod was right. Rod was right. Rod was right. Yep, Rod was right. Yeah, Rod was right. Whoop, what was that again? Oh yeah, Rod was right. Rod was right.
And child, I got all types of opinions and thoughts and all types of stuff, you know, that I say. And, you know, in fact, some people probably look at Roger and be like, she too free and too full. How dare you let her voice her goddamn opinion and it don't align with yours, sir?
First of all, don't talk about what me and my wife do.
All right. Yeah, don't be right up here with no bullshit, bro. Hugh Gordon says DEI for the companies was no different than greenwashing, just a marketing endeavor. Agreed. DEI. Oh man, if I was a political cartoonist, I think I would draw something to the effect of like, I have to think it out because it's not fully fleshed out. But y'all remember how like you go in a company and it's like recycle or trash, but if you pick up the lid, both of them go into the same bag because they really just still throwing everything in the trash.
Yes.
I feel like that's like DEI, affirmative action, like recycle and trash. It's just like, yeah.
There you go. All goes in the same bin.
We don't like and won't plan on doing any of this shit anyway. But if it makes you feel better, call it DEI. Donatello says, I didn't know Bevel is still black owned. I thought the guy sold to Procter & Gamble. It is still black owned. And he did sell it to Procter & Gamble, but once you sell something, it doesn't make it not black owned. Like, they didn't take it over.
Right.
I think it's just under Procter & Gamble now, but he's still Tristan, what's his name? But he still runs it.
He does. Mm-hmm.
And I had to Google it to be sure, because I was like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure they're black owned. Because they used to have, shout out to Bevel, before they went to Target, they invested in a lot of black podcasts, and ours is one of them. Tristan Walker, I believe, was the dude that was CEO at the time.
Great company.
I don't think he's CEO anymore, but anyway, I just know they put money in black people's pockets with that.
Yes, they did.
You know, and I think what's also interesting about it is, I think what's also interesting about the Bevel thing is, so say y'all are like, I'm not fucking with Bevel because Procter & Gamble and Target or some shit. Okay, cool, got it. It's not black owned dollars to you anymore. So your face just gonna be razor bumps now? You like, what you trying to prove? Like, these razor bumps are the sign of struggle that I am in. I'm like, no. I'm not struggling that much. I'm gonna be cozy and comfortable over here with no bumps.
I'm not.
I've kind of gotten accustomed to not scratching my neck all the fucking time.
Ain't that the truth?
So in this case, the cause is gonna have to lose me. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need that player.
Yeah, if that's the case, I'll just go to bevel.com and go through there.
Well, that's what he's saying. It's not black owned anymore. You know, I'm gonna be honest. If really fair, I wasn't buying Bevel because it was black owned. I was buying it because it works.
Yeah, right, because it works. If the shit works, I don't give a fuck who's selling it.
I mean, there's limits, I'm sure, but it works. Is why I bought it. It's for the record. It's like, it works on black skin.
Right.
So, anyway, but from my understanding, at least the last thing I looked up, it was still black owned, even with it being sold to Procter & Gamble. He says, I too was surprised by Target's decision. They have one of the biggest black hair care aisles. I have never had so many choices in a retail store. I was wondering if they were going to find another way to have diverse brands in their stores without calling it DEI. Only time will tell, guys, because that is the complicated moment we're in. It could be companies that are ducking the conservative fight. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't want to deal with that shit, but then they could stay committed to these causes, but just not put it on the marquee. Right. And that there's a certain level of anger that I can see people having about that. I'm not telling you have to support that, but only time's going to tell which companies do that and which companies are truly abandoning black people.
Yeah, because in my mind, there is a difference. And like I said before, and it's very hard for people to understand, sometimes you have to strip names off of shit, call it something else, and still do whatever your cause is. And people don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. In order to get some shit done, you can't broadcast everything you do, because the moment you let people know that this is a cause or a purpose or this benefits somebody else, you're going to have to deal with the trouble. People go, no, I just want to do what I do and benefit the people and do without all the other fucking bullshit that comes along with it the second you fucking slap a label across it.
Yep. Also, I like to thank the person that called in, that wrote in and said, Karen need to stop saying agreed and right. Because you know what? Whenever someone writes in, is like, Rod's face when Karen is talking looks like he wants to murder her. I just have to deal with that shit. So, you know what? Finally, Karen gets to deal with it. She just being herself. I'm not offended. I'm not sitting around.
They be like, Rod look like he's zoned out. Do he even care about his wife?
Right. So finally, you know what? Maybe that person is more.
And now I'm too participative.
Maybe that person is more of a feminist than I thought.
Equal opportunity.
They willing to write up here and
the women can get some too.
They willing to write up here and project on a woman. Okay, maybe I was wrong about you, Mr. SME. I doubt I was wrong, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe you just so equal. You like, you know what? Real equality is saying that the woman is wrong sometimes. Rashad says, first of all, Karen saying, why are you fighting me? Because for real, why? Mike's 76 says that she said her hairline and seasonings are hers, but more of the other lines are target specific. What is missing from some of the detractors is the understanding of scaling your business. Owners will have very complex considerations involving staffing, marketing, inventory, fulfillment, logistics, lead times, and manufacturing, and so many other things to consider. Your very nuanced and fair analysis of the situation, and particularly of her southernness and people's perception of her, is spot on. And maybe her first response was the best response. She recorded a video where she reacted, but no words. Anyhow, I also think if anyone can mobilize people in a positive, progressive direction towards better outcomes for the DEI business owners, it might just be her. Thanks again for all that you both do. Well, thank you for writing in with that very thoughtful, nice comment.
Thank you.
And yes, I wish I had brought that up at the time, but that's the other thing. There's individual brands, which all of us think we are on social media, but and this is such a great point you brought up. Tabitha's brand isn't just Tabitha. And so while people are saying she only cares about herself, she literally might be keeping several people employed by being like, hey,
right, she got a staff.
Let's find a solution that where it's not just like fuck me and my name. Let's find a solution where my company or whatever is in business because all these other black people are depending on me and depending on us as black people to find a way through this together. Fuck, this ain't about Target at this point. This about what is a real solution to this other than just fuck Target.
Right.
So.
And also, this is me and I will never forget this. And this is one reason why when it comes to a lot of the internet and they're protesting, I don't believe a lot of them. When that little black girl had that show, y'all motherfuckers protested. She lost the job. The show never went on the air. And y'all came to you about like, why don't somebody find her a job? I was like, bitch, she had a job. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I don't remember the specifics of the title of the episode or the show, but I do remember what you're talking about.
Like that really made me angry because y'all didn't look, y'all didn't do no research, y'all protested and made such a fucking stink that this little black girl lost her job, her acting job that she had the job, like we were there. She lost her job because y'all protested because y'all were righteous, right? So now she was saying, I lost my job, I need a job, and y'all be like, find her a job. Do you really care or not?
Let's see. Calibra says, like you said earlier, the blacks didn't ask for DEI. We blacks have never thought, how do we increase the amount of money we spend in this country because they killed George Floyd? I know I didn't think, what the fuck? How they don't hear us when we stop killing black people? You know what? I don't see enough representation in these stores or corporate environments. The police killed him close to Target's headquarters. This shows just how ignorant these whites are, especially the out of touch C-suite people really are. And it shows that their intentions were more to put on a front, throw money at it to make it go away. Now the rest of the whites don't understand or care about us calling out how they were not serious about affecting the future, just playing the political game of appearance. And we always had to side-eye them for their fakeness. And who created the acronym DEI in the wake of George Floyd? But cultivating an inclusive environment based on meritocracy was all that we all wanted. But white capitalism power is all that they wanted. Message.
That's a word.
PDR says Papa John's pizza. Word, I didn't know they made those changes. I'm a little with Karen on this. I loved Papa John's pizza, but I stopped patronizing it a few years ago because I didn't want to support them. If they cleaned up all their act, I'll check them out again. Well, I'm just happy to reunite y'all Papa John's lovers with y'all's pizza again, because I'm gonna be honest, I hate Papa John's. It's my least favorite pizza
for a lot of people.
I don't want it. I used to hate whenever I would pretend to act like I care about Karen's opinion on pizza and be like, what you want for pizza? And she would be like, Papa John's every fucking time.
Yes.
And I have to be like, oh my God, why did I even ask? I'm gonna have to eat fucking Papa John's again.
Yes.
But that's what love is, guys. Okay? Love isn't when your wife is talking, you pretend to make faces at the camera so that people won't write in. Love is eating Papa fucking stank ass, stale,
sweet ass sauce, don't care,
sweet garlic juice pizza.
Yes, and I am fucking here for it. I used to work at Papa John's. I fucking love Papa John's.
That's what love is. Eating that shit knowing you hate it because she love it. That's love. Okay? So don't you fucking dare ever. Don't you ever.
He do love me because I clear. If he asks me.
And when she stopped eating that shit, I knew it was hurting her. It
was.
wasn't hurting me.
I was so sad, y'all. I was super sad.
I was living in heaven. I said, ooh, finally, no more Papa John's. But I felt bad. I would be eating my delicious pizzas from other places that I thought was good. And then I'll be sadly thinking like, I know Karen misses that sugary sweetness of candy pizza.
Yes, sir. I would be so sad. I'm not even gonna lie.
Drenched in garlic butter sauce.
Yes, bring more garlic sauce.
Just
shit don't make no sense. Don't care. I don't give a fuck.
But I felt bad that I was enjoying myself, and she was over there needlessly toiling away,
because I was sticking in my protest,
thinking she was doing something, and I had to talk her out and be like,
he had to talk me down, y'all.
Shaq is selling pizza now. It's
I
not
was
even
committed.
Massa John not even near the shit no more. If you want your stank ass pizza, then you can have some guilt free.
I was so happy. I was like, good.
I had to order the pizza.
I think he even tricked me the first time he ordered it. He didn't tell me it was coming.
I just ordered the pizza without telling her.
Yes, he did. And when he bought it, at first I wasn't even gonna eat the pizza. I was like, nope, I'm not eating none of this bullshit.
Because every time I would ask after the Papa John shit happened, I'd be like, what, you want pizza? Yes. Where you want it from? And then she would lie and act like it wasn't Papa John. And I can't live in a house where somebody's lying to themselves, because in this household we want to be free.
And
you're not free. You're not free if you lying and saying that Domino's a Pizza Hut when you know deep down in your heart it's Papa John.
It was.
So
I was like, fuck them other niggas, because I'm down for my nigga. That was me right now.
So yeah, I'm glad to bring PDR HH9 DB. I'm glad you can go back to your love too.
Thank you, because child,
if it was sad as it was in here, then no one should have to be that sad.
Child, you bought up pizza, my whole attitude changed, because pizza's my favorite food. I'm like, oh.
Go get your love, man. We all love something.
We all love something that somebody else don't like.
David Browder says, thanks for explaining the lack of action on behalf of our black leaders. All you have to do is follow the money. David, I didn't say anything about the lack of action on the black leaders. David listened to another show. That's his second time being like, and our black leaders are in the pocket of Big Hot Pocket.
Oh, David.
That's why they halfway frozen in the middle, but they warm on the outside. And I appreciate y'all talking about that shit.
Thank you.
I didn't talk about nothing about black leadership that I remember. You know, at least not. I think you keep adding the follow the money element, and I don't think it's about the money. I don't think our black leaders have been compromised because they bought and paid for. I think we're all compromised in what we call leadership on the internet. I just don't find.
I agree.
That kind of activism is not the same as like. And I know it's a throwback, but it's not the same as even people like that run a church back in the day. Where a church could be run by a preacher, and that preacher could be conservative and problematic in many areas. But you know what that person had to do every Sunday? Look the community in the face in person. And that's just something we don't have anymore. People can say they're a whole ass activist and they don't organize anything. They hang out with their friends and they do shit they want to do. But like going in front of their community with people that don't subscribe to their podcast, people that don't follow them on Twitter, just people that live in their community that they're like, I want to help you. You don't have to do that part anymore. And so a lot of times people say, I'm organizing a protest, and it's just a website to say boycott Target or whatever. And with no accountability and no recourse for people that can't afford to. So Walt says, this is my first time seeing this podcast. When I saw the name of it, I immediately suspected that this guy was a big time coon because he was using false stereotype as a name, sort of like saying the black guy who doesn't eat watermelon. Straight coonish behavior just to please white folks. His annoying voice even sounds like he watches what black people do and then he reports it to white folks. This guy must be Jason Whitlock's brother. All right, well, I would disagree with that, and I'll do you the favor of hiding the channel from you.
You know you ain't got to be here, right?
If you couldn't make it past the name and you left that comment despite everything that was said on this show, you can suck my dick.
And it's a lipness test, because if you can't pass that, okay.
I also felt that way about the name and wanted to change it, but surprise, surprise, 15 years later, I'm self-employed, and you are leaving comments on my website on YouTube. Thank you for the click. Need My Sunshine says, someone mentioned your podcast in the comments of Kevin on Stage podcast, so I decided to listen. So happy I did. I needed to hear this viewpoint. The nuanced view of this was so helpful. It's Chevy B says, that's the reason I'm here too. Well, shout out to Kev on Stage.
Shout out to Kev on Stage. We gotta get him back on the show.
Yeah, I fuck with Kev on Stage. I don't care what they say about him. No, I fuck with Kev on Stage, man. I think he's very funny and seems like a really good dude.
Right.
And I've had nothing but great interactions with him.
Same.
And he's a very supportive person in the way of like, Kev on Stage is one of those people that he retweets in real life. Yeah. But what I mean by that is, if you guys know anything about the economy of Twitter and the way it works now, the ecosystem of Twitter, basically people like things now, they don't share them. Like if you like something, you just click the like button and then you just move on. It's like, ooh, a thing for me. Kev on Stage is kind of dude that retweets you. Yes. I'm a retweeter. I'm a person that if I see somebody say something I think is cool, I share it with the people on my timeline by retweeting it.
Me too.
Most people don't do that.
Not anymore.
And Kev, to me, is a retweeter in real life. Meaning, if there's a thing you do that he thinks is dope and he can find a way to incorporate it into what he does and give you access to his audience, his platform, he'll fucking do it. Mm-hmm. And I just respect that because that energy is missing from so many people. There are so many selfish people that are just like, the precious, the laughs, all for me. Only Mises can have it. And it's just like, bro, share your audience. Share. What are you so afraid of? They gonna find something different or better than you, or they gonna hear something else? And it trickles down to his audience is why I'm bringing this up. Mm-hmm. Because his audience is going, hey, you know who else has some thoughts on this? The Blackout Tips. And they always come over and his fans are polite and nice. They're not like that last guy who called me a coon because of the name of the show.
I didn't listen.
Miss Ladia says, Reverend Al has announced a nationwide boycott. He said the list is forthcoming. There's actually 6 steps to an effective boycott as per the Montgomery bus boycott. There's actually strategy involved in boycotting, which is number 4 of the 6 process. We should all wait for Reverend Al's NAN instructions because they have the experience to be effective. I posted a clip at a short of my channel just so people can find it. Miss Ladia, thank you. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's Miss Latia, but yeah, thanks. Mad Fun Kid says, also please remember Walmart and Target rush this PR stunt out, causing maximum chaos and confusion. Black communities need calm, consistent voice right now as Trump and CEO robber barons, co-robber barons specialize in chaos making moves back to back. Mad Fun Kids also says, choose your lane, plan, strategize, do it all. It's not either or, and it's boycott, yes. Boycott, yes. Work together and choose your lanes. Make allies in the black community, not foes. Hey man, I actually agree with that. Like I said, I'm not trying to make enemies here. That's why I'm not spending any time. If you listen to us carefully, you'll see we didn't spend any time being like, and you niggas ain't even gonna do shit. Y'all, that's why it ain't gonna work. Like we didn't even. I don't necessarily think these things will work if it's just not organized. But I'm not against people organizing, whether I participate or not. I don't see myself as like a leader in the space of like, I will be the one to do it. Like maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But I just think people have to go with their gut and their hearts. And there's a lot of ways to be right in this. I don't find it to be wrong. I get that everyone's dealing with something that sucks. Mm-hmm. Jason says, yeah, I have zero smoke for Tabitha because honestly right now I have zero smoke for Target. Strategically, I understand the company deciding this isn't a fight to have. If putting out a little statement and saying, what DI gets Orange Julius off your back, cool. If we look back in a year and Target fired all their black employees and managers, then I'll take issue. All Trump wants is to be able to say he ended DEI, and that's all his followers need to hear. It will be difficult for a competent administration to enforce this order, much less a Trump administration. And the most disappointing part was how Trump issues an order and in 72 hours Tabitha Brown is the face of the anti-DEI movement. The anger is always directed somewhere other than the people that are the source of the problem. And who knows, even after the events of this week, he might need to keep DEI around a little longer. Otherwise, he's going to have to find something else to blame for all the catastrophes on his watch. And lastly, I know this isn't the spirit of your show, but goddamn, 2025 Trump might be the least attractive human being on the planet. Never thought I'd say this, but no more press conferences, just tweet, homie. I mean, listen, if y'all want to call him ugly, that's fine. Listen, here's what I'll say. I'm not really a person that talks much about people's bodies and being ugly and shit like that, just because I think it's just so much weird shit caught up in that. That being said, I respect the rules of the game, meaning if you are a terrible person and somebody want to talk about you being a unattractive motherfucker, I'm not jumping in front of that bullet. It's the end of Batman Begins. When motherfucking Ra's al Ghul was on that train and Batman looked at this nigga and said, I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you. That's how I be feeling. That's why you ain't never seen me come on here and do none of these. I know there's people who are more principled than me about this, but y'all ain't never gonna see me come on here and start talking about like, and y'all fat shame Jason Whitlock. Nigga, he's a terrible person. If he feel bad because of that, he feel bad about it. I don't think I wouldn't do it, but he is a horrible human. I get that some people got some like staunch rules against shit like that. I don't have that rule, so I don't participate in it. But if y'all want to say Trump has a mushroom micro penis and looks like he's an orange melting snowman, what the fuck I'm gonna oh y'all we need to stop shaming people like maybe he need to stop being the worst bigot on the planet. That's the most powerful bigot on the planet. Right. I don't care if this nigga's feelings get hurt, and I'm sorry if you look like him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry in more ways than one. If you identify with, man, they talk bad about Trump, what they gonna say about me? I really do feel bad for you in a lot of ways, because I would never, nigga. Oh man. The poll: are you going to shop at Target anymore? I'm done shopping at Target forever. 2%. I'm done for now, but I'll be back 18%. I never did 18%. And I will continue to shop there 62%.
I'm at 62%.
Yeah, what's funny? I don't be in Target that often, but and you know what's even funnier? When I go to Target, you know what I buy? Bevel. Mm-hmm. That's normally the only thing I buy from Target. Like I'll literally go in there to buy. I'll get other shit. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
it's Target.
That's
you gonna
the
buy
number one reason you go.
You gonna buy some bullshit because it's Target. But in general, I'll go get all my shit from like Publix, who knows, they could be donating their money to the Klan. I have no idea. But I'll get my stuff from Target, from Publix or Harris Teeter, and then be like, oh, but my shaving cream, Bevel, it's only in Target. So I guess I was already doing what Tabitha said, but I can get online. I don't know. Last episode, I'm gonna play some music so I can rest my voice for 30 seconds, and then we'll come back and do the last episode, voicemails and emails.
Okay.
Like that one.
And also, I just now realized something.
Yes.
A lot of times when I'm speaking, that gives Roger's voice a break, because you say your voice needs to break us a lot of times, and it also gives me a time too when Roger's talking if I want to transition into something else.
Oh no, I know how you do it. Like you're doing it. In addition to the affirmation and stuff, sometimes you're doing it because that's how you double dutch. That's how you get in and do your part. Fuck that person. I don't care. We've done 30,000. We've done 3,045 episodes.
Oh no! It just made me think about that.
We are objectively correct. in all the ways that we have decided to do this, I believe the facts are on our side and not Mr. SME, who we have literally never heard of because they do not have a podcast that is nearly as popular. So I'll tell you what, I would take that note from anyone who knew what the fuck they were talking about. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do. Show me how you turned your talking to your wife into your business that you make a living off of and have been doing so for 15 years. If you can do that, then I will gladly take your note under advisement. If not,
true.
You can suck all of my dick. There you go. All right. We had episode 3045. You can't spell Jedi without DEI. That was when we had Jake and AC on from the MCU University podcast. Mm-hmm. Once again, forgot to put this on YouTube. I will do that after the show. Mm-hmm. Rona Raphael says, big fan of the MCU and MCU University. Always enjoying y'all chatting it up. One thing I've started doing just before I connected with the Blackout Tips was stop watching Cinema Sins and a bunch of others I used to follow on YouTube. As soon as I connected with you guys, I unsubscribed and it helped my movie watching experience. I no longer watch trailer breakdowns except if I'm not going to see the movie in the theater. I watched the first trailer. That's enough for me. I'll see y'all on opening Thursday night after I have seen and enjoyed the movie for good or bad. Will I check out the reviews? Usually yours first and Easter egg breakdowns. Since I stopped going on that info search and watching or listening to them wild channels, I have enjoyed it a lot. Does it feel like I'm the only one watching what I watch sometimes? Yes, but that's fine and I'm at peace with it. I'd rather that than shit on everything and then cry when we get nothing. Yeah, I think that was big for me. It was just I had to realize that what my problem was I was still treating enjoying things and being a fan of things as associating that with needing to be in community and discussion with everybody. And the tenor of the internet is just a very negative, salty environment.
It is.
And I was like, no, I don't have to consume all of the fighting and fussing and negativity just because I like a movie that's popular. I can opt out of this part.
Agreed. And it's also one of the things to where because the way the internet is designed, and I know people don't mean any harm by this, whenever you share something that you love, there are going to be people that be like, oh, I love that too, I like that too, whatever the case may be. But there's always going to be a subsection that their whole purpose is to talk you out of it. And you was like, I didn't ask for your opinion to talk me out of it. Okay, you didn't like it and you list your reasons why. Okay, I understand that, but it's still not going to change my opinion about how I view it.
Also, I think a big part of this is that I'm an empath. So, while other people can hear someone's negativity about a thing and feel like nothing, where it's just like, okay, you didn't like that thing, whatever. My default is like to try to solve or soothe the issue. Like I'm more upset that you did not have a good time, and I had a good time, and I'm feeling like a weird level of like guilt or sadness for you. Mm-hmm. When the truth of the matter is, and I'm much better about it now after therapy and shit, but that has nothing to do with me.
Nothing.
Okay, you didn't like it. It means nothing to me that you didn't like it, and honestly, a lot of times. It doesn't supersede that I enjoyed it, just like it doesn't supersede that you didn't enjoy it.
Agreed.
So it's just, and mostly I just don't feel like I'm gaining much out of having these conversations. Shoe Booty says, you all nailed it with the it's all content now and it doesn't match up. It's quantity over quality. I compared it to the studies that are done on the progression of farming. We have more agricultural production than before, but it's so over engineered that it's less nutrients in it. EVE says, I'm a big fan of the MCU, but I'm excited to see what James Gunn has in store for the DCU. I like what he did so far with Peacemaker, so I'm excited to see the new Superman movie. This is the first time I've been excited about a Superman movie since Christopher Reeves. I liked Henry Cavill as Superman, but they did him dirty with those scripts, which were pure ass. I also got super excited when I saw Crypto in the trailer because I love the cheesy stuff. That is why I love Guardians of the Galaxy so much. I was also super excited to see the character Mr. Terrific. I didn't know a damn thing about his character, but I was so happy to see the actor playing him was the guy who played Darwin in the X-Men First Class movie. I'm still so pissed off that they killed off the one X-Men that can't be killed, who happened to be the only brother in the movie. Yeah, that did suck. And that was so funny because that was one of those things. I enjoyed that movie, by the way. But when they kill him, I was literally in the theater. I rolled my eyes and thought, niggas is about to be mad at this. Well, he died.
Yeah, because that nigga is Mr. Terrific. The fuck?
No, it wasn't Mr. Terrific. It was Darwin and X-Men First Class.
Oh, okay.
And they
completely different.
They presented this dude at the beginning, and it was like, what's his power? He can adapt to anything. He's the ultimate survival. And I said, oh, that's a cool power, especially for a brother to have. Wow, what an amazing mutant. I can't wait to see the ways that this power comes up, you know? I'm thinking like, you know, he gets his arm cut off, he can grow an arm back or something. Or, you know, man, they blew this man's head up and he never came back. I said, why? Hollywood? Right. Do you know how many brothers just stared at the screen like Dr. Umar?
And they were highly upset.
You will never know peace for this.
Mm-mm.
Justice for that act. I was so happy for him. I hope they do his character justice. I did some research on his character, Mr. Terrific, so his role should be interesting. Hopefully WB execs don't screw this up. I hope they don't. I don't think they will. We've seen a lot of redemption for stuff like that. The brother that played Jar Jar Binks was recently a Jedi in like Ahsoka.
It was Ahsoka.
And so like, yeah, I think people have been revisiting the some of these past injustices in quotes, because I know this ain't a real like civil rights injustice.
But I'm with you, yeah.
Yeah, they've been revisiting them. I like that. Are you a fan of the MCU? 83% of our audience says yes, 17% says no. So, all right, that sounds fair. Let's move into voicemails, everybody. We got one person that left 3 voicemails, our girl Miss Barnes, who I saw last night in Raleigh before I drove back.
Good morning, Rod and Karen. This is Miss Barnes. So I have to apologize. I may have to leave several messages. But I wanted to say I had a ball last night at the Basketball Jones show, and it was really good seeing you again, Rod. I was hoping to see Karen, but she stayed booked and busy doing other things, so I completely understand. But I have to mention, I recorded your set, and it pretty much was a set where you were doing the introduction to the Duke Museum. You really, truly had the crowd, Rod, and it was just really, it was funny, it was engaging, it was absolutely just the greatest time. And yeah, I'm going to classify that as a comedy set because you did good. Like the introvert had the whole room's undivided attention. So overall, I just can't sing enough praises about the show. It was fantastic. I got a picture of you. I tried to get a picture of Amani, but I'll just have to send you what I got. And I will definitely try to send a video. But overall, it was a great time, and there was something else I wanted to talk about in the next voicemail.
All right. She called back, but what I will say is, like, on the program that we got, it said basically like the itinerary, like these people go up first for 20 minutes, then they're gonna introduce this other person's gonna come on, they're gonna do something, and then my thing was the woman who was gonna introduce me, I had 5 minutes to set up the Duke Museum exhibit sketch and all the stuff that they were about to see from game theory, and so I obviously I'm not a stand-up comedian, and I didn't know until they sent me that I was gonna have to do that. I just thought someone else would be doing stuff like that, and then they would bring us on stage to talk about it. So, you know, once I found this out, like with like a day to go or something, I thought of a few anecdotes and stuff and stories and jokes and stuff from, like, you know, like what might be interesting to set the piece up. And I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't very nervous. I'm very confident. Mm-hmm. And as I've said before, and I don't mean any disrespect to comedians that have spent their whole lives doing this shit, and I'm not saying it's the same, obviously, duh. But I could do stand up. I don't know that I'd be the most successful nigga in the world or have a great following and all this shit. But like, it's not a thing where I couldn't do it. It's a lot of stuff I could do. I don't want to do everything. I could write a TV show. I know that for a fact now because I did it for 2 years. But it's not like a thing that when I was presented with the opportunity, I was like, I'll never do this. I was like, no, I could do that. like I need to know. I need to learn, obviously. But I feel like I could, if you taught me the rules, I could figure out a way to do it within the rules, right? So yeah, that was like a fun, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in depth on another episode.
Yes.
But that was like a very fun thing to do. And, same thing when I did Drunk Black History. I think I have the skills, and also I've like really, really studied a lot of stand up and stuff like that. It's not the same as doing it. You can watch the NBA. Don't mean you can go out there and dunk.
Ain't that the truth?
But I got some of it, and I feel like kind of what we do, all this talking we do for a living, and the reason that I don't get nervous before we do live shows and all this shit is just I feel like I can do that,
Yeah, and I think over the years, and particularly the last one, because we've done several of them, a lot of that for me personally has gone away, and I think a lot of it just in my mind, like like it was like not in a bad mental block, but just like kind of just overthinking and all that stuff. But then I had to realize just be yourself and you'll be fine. Like, honestly.
Also, I'm not going to let you or Justin or any guest that comes on stage, I'm not going to let you fail.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to set you up. I'm not going to get up there and just stop talking and be like, well, Karen, you want to introduce all the articles? Like you just got to show up, be yourself. We're going to make it as comfortable as possible.
Yes.
And our audience doesn't want to see us fail. Like, that's the thing I would say is why it may have felt like a stand-up set, and if I can get the audio or the video, I'll upload it somewhere so people can see it. And look, and I felt I was doing good. Not great, like I wasn't killing, but I don't think that was the point. It's not really stand-up. It's me introducing something else. But the point I was gonna make is, I think it was funny and informative, and it accomplished the point, but it's also a home crowd.
Yeah.
So like when we do our live show, that's a home crowd.
It is.
You shouldn't bomb in there. You know what I'm saying? A comedian got a harder job because sometimes they got to go in for a room full of people that either aren't fans or I just like comedy.
Oh, I'm in here eating and a comedy show just breaks out, right?
I disagree with everything that you stand for. Like those aren't things we have to necessarily worry about. If people trickle into our live show, I'd say 97% of them are fans of ours, and then like maybe 3% are just like, I wanted to see some comedy.
Right.
So I don't think we would have this. I would not count it the same as like being stand up.
Agreed.
And doing stand up. To do real stand up, I would need to fail a lot. And I don't feel like going through all that. I'm 45. It feels too late to be trying to have that dream. And it seemed way too much fucking work. It just seems like very thankless, like a lot of effort for a little bit, a small glimmer of a chance that you even blow up with it. But even the people that blow up with the shit, it don't even really seem all that fun. It seemed like a headache sometimes. But yeah, I think I could do it. And I'm glad, but I'm mostly glad y'all enjoyed it. I'll finish playing these.
This is Barnes again. So I want to say, Rod and Karen, thank you so much for your continued insight into social media and the effect that it has on people. I gave myself a goal on January the 1st, which was no Instagram, no Facebook, no social media. So I've been without basically for a month. And I really, truly like how I felt. It allowed me to do other things. Like, I ordered a whole bunch of books last year, and I'm like, I have all these books on my shelf, and I have not been reading them. So I cracked open a few books and I started reading. And I just like how I'm sorry, let me go back. I noticed how I felt after I was scrolling on Instagram and Facebook. I try to be the person that posts and run. I'll post my picture and then take off running, but sometimes I scroll. And I thought I curated my timeline well enough to where craziness wouldn't show up, but craziness showed up. So I'm like, there was a goal that I had in January, and I'm like, I did not need any distractions. I logged off for the month, and it felt great. And yeah, I probably will do it again. But overall, I just decided to go ahead and do it. And thank you so much, Rod and Karen. I really, truly appreciate your insight into social media and the effects that it has on everyone. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
She called back one more time, but I do want to take a moment to say, you know what she made me think about? I have never heard anyone, I don't know anyone, who told me they took a break from social media and felt worse.
100%. And a lot of people who've never taken a break don't understand. Like, I'm telling you right now, everybody that I've talked to, even if they take a week or 2 weeks or 24 hours, they were like, I felt so much better. And the same thing you said, Miss Barnes, they were like, all of a sudden, I started making plans with friends. I started doing lunch things. I started spending more time with my kid. I started reading. I started getting in the hobby. Like, when you talk to people and they make these moves, it's like all of a sudden
it's just interesting, because I feel like it works on our brains. It's supposed to. The dopamine works this way.
Yes.
I think our brains are like, no, don't take a break. You're gonna miss out on things. You're not gonna know the news. You're not gonna know what's going on. You're not gonna see the funny parts and the good things. And literally everybody I have ever known who has told me they took a certain amount of time off from social media has always told me, oh no, I felt better. And it's just weird. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just more weird that we don't have the opposite, where it's like, man, I was off Twitter. What the fuck, bro? I felt terrible. Like, everybody's like, oh no, this is better. This is better.
Yes.
But I mean, it's like doing crack, I guess, or like mental crack, where it's like, nothing's better than crack when you're on crack, until motherfuckers are like, I got clean. That's the best high. And I'm like, because I'm over here still on the glass dick.
I'm on these voicemails rambling. So anyways, I will also mention that I cannot wait this month to be at the live show. It's going to be great. And I get to see all of my internet cousins. And it's going to be a good time. And you asked me, you're going to come? And I was like, absolutely, I sure will. So in the meantime, I hope you and Karen have a wonderful weekend. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And we look forward to seeing all y'all at the live show. Karen will actually be there. So
yes, I will be there. And I'm excited about it. We're still prepping and getting prepared and doing some things. So I am really excited about the people that are going to be there and be in person, and about the people that are going to see it live. I'm really excited.
I do have an idea for I'm working on an idea of what I think the show's going to be. So I'm excited. I'll be excited I'll probably wait. I'll probably, like when we did the bullet ball thing live. Not that we're doing that again, but I mean, probably like that, how I didn't tell anybody, not even Karen and Justin, until the day of. I don't think I'm going to tell anybody to the day of, but I think I have a plan for what this show is going to be, and I'm excited about it.
And I'm fine with that.
All right, we got emails, and that's the last thing. So let me play one more beat and take some more water. All right. Bereaved hands throwing from Kiana, who says, The story y'all read about the sisters fighting at the funeral was funny because every black funeral I've ever attended was marred by some bullshit. One of my great grandmothers died when I was 12. It was sad, but she had been sick with Alzheimer's for a long time, so it wasn't terribly surprising. As we were getting ready to file into a family limo, my great uncle and my cousin, who was raised by my great grandmother, were literally about to start swinging on each other. The next door neighbors was trying to de-escalate, and one of my aunts was crying like Monica Calhoun in the bathroom in the Players Club.
Oh no!
My teeny tiny less than 5 foot tall auntie stepped in and threatened to beat both of their asses, and they didn't calm down. If they didn't calm down, get in the car. Shit was wild, and I was mad traumatized behind it.
I can see that.
At another funeral for a coworker, his 2 sons almost got into a fist fight. We were getting ready to head to the church when their previously passive aggressive altercation came to a head. One of them yelled, "Bitch, I'm trying to bury my father." He had not put a single penny towards arrangements or a single word in the obituary, but felt like he was big buffing boss that day. Again, shit was wild. I just sat back in judgment because their father would have been mortified. I can't remember any others where there was almost a fight, but it's probably not terribly uncommon because everyone's emotions are high and sadness can turn to anger really quickly depending on the family dynamic.
Right.
Love y'all, Kiana. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, so far so good for me. I haven't been to too many. My family don't fight at funerals. Like, they might be beefing, but they not finna just like put that shit out to the world. And honestly, it's for the best. I don't want to be in none of these news articles. Be on here having to explain I was at the shit. Guess the race. It's us.
Right. We read one article where they were shooting at the funeral. You were like, why is we shooting at the funeral?
Kiana says, for people who are looking to stay informed but not overwhelmed, PBS NewsHour is a really good source of information. It's not sensationalized or skewed towards a political party. It's just the news. They stream their videos live on YouTube, and I believe they are also on Spotify. Folks interested can also sign up for World Health Organization newsletter by going to a link to newsroom newsletter, who.int/newsroom newsletter. So there you go. Nichelle says, tab. Hey, Rod and Karen. Tried to ignore this boycott business because it felt like something people wouldn't really commit to. You're right about there's no plan or ask. People got wound up online, and my sister is sending me a list of places to boycott. This doesn't seem feasible for most people.
Right.
Anyway, I wasn't surprised that Tabitha defended her stance because this is her livelihood and she has to protect her trademark nice brand. However, she got this new gig as Chief Empowerment Officer for Clover, which is a point of sale system targeted to small businesses. This is a big deal because the finance tech industry rarely has any black people in any role. I used to attend the annual finance tech or fintech conference, either a media pass or I was always the only black woman there. So she clicked a link. She sent a link to Adweek showing that Tabitha Brown is Clover's first Chief Empowerment Officer. And I want to say this is from like, this is very recent is what I'm saying. Like, this is not some like, in 2022 she became the empowerment officer. Yeah, January 30th, 2025. So look, y'all don't know what the fuck be happening behind the scenes. So while y'all are shitting on her and calling her all kinds of coons and shit, she's literally working with this business and possibly, hopefully, passing it on to some black people with her influence over there. Like, I don't know, man. It's a fucked up, crooked system that we're navigating, and I just don't think that anybody's as clean as they think they are online. And I think a lot of people are just using this to grandstand.
I 100% agree, and I've used Clover before. Clover is a good app. One of the cupcake places we enjoy do Clovers, and you get like discounts and stuff. It's really neat.
Yeah. Racist fires, Walmart, etc. John says, good morning, Rod and Karen. Sorry I've been away so long, but unfortunately our house burned down in Eaton Canyon. Fire that destroyed most of the wonderful city of Altadena. What?
Oh,
fuck,
baby.
It started at 6:20 p.m. January 7th, about 3 miles from us, but by 7:30, amongst some of the most violent Santa Ana winds we have ever experienced, we got a knock on our door and the neighbor yelled, "There's a fire, you gotta get out." When I stepped out into the driveway, I could see a wall of flames coming down the mountain ridge closest to us, something I had never seen before in all of our many close calls, and we knew it was time to bail. We grabbed our cats and our important documents and literally ran to our car in our pajamas and then drove to through an Armageddon-like scenario of constant smoke, scary winds, down power lines, embers flying everywhere, etc. Until we safely reached a friend's house away from the fire, we spent the night glued to the news, amped up, unable to sleep, and the next day we confirmed that our whole block had been burned to the ground, including our home. Fortunately, we had renter's insurance cover a good chunk of our belongings, and several of our friends and coworkers were super generous to our GoFundMe. And in a bizarre twist of fate, friends of ours found a job offer for me and some temporary free lodging in Taos, New Mexico, a place we had been thinking about moving to. So we decided to just go. Yeah, I guess at that point, it is like a just go. Like, I mean, not just, I wouldn't blame you for staying, but also it's like, if you had already been thinking about moving away, it's like, well, this the sign, nigga.
We can't get any clearer than this. And I know it sounds odd to say after the fact, but shout out to you for being organized enough to know what all your important documentations are.
I would imagine if you live in a place like this under constant fire threat, I was gonna say probably a lot of y'all have a go bag type situation because you don't have a choice. So we've got really lucky and are doing okay, all things considered, but so many of our neighbors weren't so lucky. While most of the news coverage has focused on the Palisades fire where the most wealthy white people live, our city of Altadena had a rich black history as one of the first cities in California where middle-class black families could buy homes. Yeah, I wonder if that's the same place from The Warmth of Other Suns that they were driving to, that one doctor was driving to. It was also an early safe space for interracial couples. Most of California and America was not. Our black homeowner rates were twice the national average. Octavia Butler was a longtime resident, and so was pioneering black architect Charles White. Our city was steeped in blackness, and it was one of the things we love so much about it and will miss dearly. Roughly 9,000 homes were destroyed by our fire, and many of them were ones that had been homes of black families for multiple generations. Anyways, I thought fans of the show might be interested in helping some of them out, so I'm including a Google spreadsheet of black family GoFundMes. All right, I'll try to include this in the show notes as well. Who are in need of support. If you would be open to putting it on the show notes. What made the tragedy even worse is that there were some. First of all, could you imagine you put that in the email and I was like, no, I ain't putting them in the show notes. Okay, what about my brand? Did you think about that?
We would never do that.
Okay. Just shop at Target and shut the hell up. That's what they act like, Tabitha said.
Right?
Anyway, what made the tragedy even worse is that there were some assholes who started looting the evacuated homes. So, of course, the sheriff's board of supervisors and media made that into a really big deal in a way that felt super racist. Yeah. Then they found like white dudes in firemen's outfits and shit. I was like, they looting? Damn. He thought about that looting. Who the fuck got a spare fireman's outfit? He was on some other shit. On a lighter note, after we moved to Taos, we needed to buy some basic goods, so we went to Walmart, and for the first time ever, goddamn, it really is the ghetto. Like, y'all have joked about it for so many years. The workers were all miserable and looked like recovering meth addicts. It was scarier than the damn fire. It's the worst. Walmart is terrible.
Yeah, and one of the Walmarts near us looks like they're corralling cows, because the way it's designed, you go in one way and then you it's like a gate locked, and the only way to get out is to navigate back around and to either go out through the cash register or either the where the one person with the multiple registers, and that's the only way to get out. Like, you literally can't just turn around, go in, and come back out. And I was like, I don't like to feel like I'm corralled in here like I am a cow. I'm good.
Yeah, Walmart really dystopian these days. Totally with you both and Brandon on avoiding too much news about Trump. I knew exactly what was coming. He told us and tried to warn people, but nobody wanted to listen because genocide and Biden's old, etc. I did activism and organizing and put black people and transgender people first, and of all that for 8 fucking years. And when it come time to get information for Biden and then Kamala, people still wouldn't do it.
Right.
And now here we are. We have a life to rebuild and serious PTSD, so I'm not about to follow all the bullshit all day long, especially when now Trump is threatening to end FEMA and potential relief for wildfires that we could really use. As y'all have said so many times, the time to resist was November 2016.
Yes.
And to paraphrase Karen, they can all kiss my ass at this point. P.S. You actually did know about red pandas, though you may not have realized it, or or favorite disillusioned Japanese office worker, Agretsuko is a red panda. Yes.
Oh, that's my jam.
She is. I forgot about that. Cheers and thanks for making us laugh at the time we really needed that, John. Yo, man. Nothing but positive vibes to you, man.
Speedy recovery.
I'm glad it didn't work out even worse, and I'm glad y'all were able to come back in some shape, form, or fashion.
Same.
And get on your feet. But man, that just sucks.
Right, that just sucks. Is in something like that, and nobody really thinks about that. But just rebuilding like that has got to be traumatizing. So I wish you best of luck. I hope that you can process the process that you're gonna have to go through to get to the other side of this.
Leaving the world behind, but not before you get these flowers. Amina says, "Dear Rod and Karen, my favorite things about this pod. Y'all don't have to read this. I need to learn to edit myself. Damn it. Well, it's too late. I'm already
too
reading.
Late.
Rod and Karen, and also, why would I not read a compliment? That's the best part of this Saturday.
Right.
Another nigga told my wife to shut up, and then somebody called me a coon. Yes, I will read the compliments. I will read
your long compliment, baby.
Rod and Karen, y'all are so damn funny about the podcast segments are part of my so damn funny that the podcast segments are part of my lexicon. I'll be thinking to myself, guess the race or man, Dracarys when I hear a fucked up story on the news. Rod, all your amazing book recommendations, Ida B. Wells, A Sword Among Lions, Conflict is Not Abuse, such an amazing book, Amusing Ourselves to Death, Being Black, and many others. I'm glad you enjoy those. Right now I'm reading The Cruelty is the Point, so by Adam Serwer. Karen, your amazing laugh, your smile, your passion, your rage at injustice. I felt an anger similar to yours when Roe v. Wade was overturned and when Kamala Harris lost the election. I would have never thought I would have less rights as a woman my age now than I did when I was a damn teenager.
Right.
Karen, you mentioned some time ago that you had gone to college. You had just met up. When you had gone to college, you met up with some Trinidadian students. I was like, my nigga, my mom is Trinidadian, and she always smiles and laughs when she hears your laugh and your jokes on the pod. First of all, that's me, not Karen. Okay, Karen knew them Trinidadian students through me because I was in a suite with 4 Trinidadian dudes. So that's how she met them, is through me living with them. But yeah, they, shout out to Trinidad and Tobago. They be liming over there, okay? And they snap their fingers when they laugh. Rod and Karen, your bravery for years, I've kind of made myself small, and I kind of want to grow to be more like my true self, to be my full, uncomfortable, awkward, cringe, but kind self. When you travel to New York to write for Game Theory, it really, really moved me. I've always wanted to write for TV myself and do comedy writing, but I'm shy to an unbearable level. I want to give myself a chance, and I'll allow myself to do something as bold as to apply to write for a dope-ass show or just write something just for myself. Well, you holding yourself back if you on the last one, writing something for yourself. You just gotta get out there and write it. It's really that simple. And I'll tell you, Game Theory did wonders for me because I feel like once you're in a room and you realize like I can do this, no one in here is more special than me. I think it helps. At least it helped for me because I was like, oh, I don't need imposter syndrome. I met some imposters. Like every once in a while you meet somebody like, this motherfucker don't know what they talking about.
Got no business being in this room.
Like, that was not a thing that I had ever really truly experienced before when it came to creativity stuff. It was like, this person is an expert. They've been doing this longer than me. Of course they know. But the first few times that I pitched something where it was like, somebody just didn't know what they were talking about. And then when other people heard the idea, it was like, nah, this is great. I was like, huh. It only took a few times of that for me to be like, oh no, I can do this. So yeah, but yeah, you should definitely write. Submitting is weird because you gotta like know people. I still don't know how to submit. Like I had a job. I don't know how to get another one of these jobs. Now, if I'm being fair, I ain't pressed to have another one of these jobs, so maybe that's why I didn't. But like, you gotta have like an agent or some shit to know, like, hey, so and so's taking submissions, and this is where you send it. Yeah, because I don't know.
And people will be like, hey, Rod, you okay? Like people have asked Rod, you be like, I'm good.
Yeah, but they're asking just to see if I'm okay. They're not hitting me up like, hey, I heard you looking for a job. Right. I don't know what to do to get. I think you need an agent to do the job part.
Right, because they're the ones that actually have their ear to the ground.
I'm guessing. Plus, they get 20% or some shit. Yeah, 5%, 8%. I don't know the percent, but they get a percent. So, of course, they want your ass working. On this election, man, where do I even start? You ever watch the Twilight Zone episode? The monsters are due on Maple Street. Yeah, we headed for there real quick. Well, thank God I've never watched it, so I don't have to be scared or whatever you just said. I will cast abominable filth on you, make you vile, and make you a spectacle. Nahum 3:6. Jordan Peele is a fucking genius, man. Love you both. Lord of Amina. Thank you, Lord of Amina.
Thank you.
I didn't understand the last 3 sentences you wrote, but I feel like that's why you should be a writer, because you sound smarter than me. Steph says, hey, y'all, not to sound like I'm panicking or anything, but I've been stocking up on products since the election just to get ahead of these tariffs. I don't drink coffee, but I bought some just in case I need to barter, LOL. Damn, Steph really, she ready for the zombie apocalypse.
And like they're like, shit, the price of the brick going up. People are like, hey, dog, they ain't picking their fruit. Their fruit and shit gonna spoil and prices gonna go up.
Buying stuff you don't consume in case you need to trade is some zombie apocalypse shit.
It's like, we don't know what Trump gonna bring.
Yeah, well, they talking about a tariff on the coffee, so I mean, I guess she's anticipating that. Like, coffee gonna be more valuable in 3 months than it is today, so let me go buy some coffee that I don't plan on drinking. That's crazy. But this motherfucker is about to ruin lives. I'm still so sad and angry because this is preventable. People are still asking Dems what they're gonna do. Like, please start asking the party that has all 3 branches. They can't do shit. I may not know everything about civics, but I'm not a dummy.
Right.
The populace cap them at the knees. They cannot help you. They can only sue in courts. People are still saying how Democrats aren't helping because they want it to be bad so they can swoop in 2028. Please be fucking for real. They know Repubs won't listen, and that's why they are still going to the damn meetings and screaming at them about climate change. It's important, but look around you. Please be serious. We're being destabilized and cut off from allied countries. You're yelling at the wrong people about the wrong stuff. Am I crazy? No, you're not crazy. That's what I'm seeing.
You're not crazy at all. And then, you know, when you look at them, particularly people that are on the extreme left, be like, hey, dog, you're the lunatic. And also, I said this on the show with you and Justin, and I will say it here. I am to the fact of, I don't mean no harm. Don't care about your complaining. Don't care about your whining. Go through all your stages of grief. Deal with this however you want to deal with this. My question is, what are you going to do 2 years from now? Are you going to sit out again? Are you going to vote? Are you going to do something about it? And, you know, for the people on the right, I feel like this. I don't care about them either. And I'm like, hey, dog, whenever it gets bad enough that the white supremacy is not as big on your agenda versus can I eat, and we on the same page, then we can vote and get shit done. Because I know that those people will never do anything out of the kindness of their heart, out of the goodness of their heart. Their condition and their situation has to be so bad and so dire that they have to let that racism go. And so for me, I'm like, okay, cool. It's sad, but I'm like, I'm waiting for that moment to come. Because honestly, the way people are responding, the way people didn't learn, the way people are regurgitating the same thing over and over again, the way people aren't listening to each other, the way people have no compassion for one another, it's like, okay, y'all, the house is already on fire. It's literally gonna have to burn to the ground before everybody quit blaming one another and look at the problem, which is Trump and the administration and the Republicans, to be like, get them out of office. Until that point in time, until you really are serious, 2 years from now is going to tell. Not 4 years from now, 2 years from now, when it's time to vote again. So are you just talking and complaining across the internet with pointless phrases and words, and you don't plan on doing anything? Or are you going to do something? Because a lot of these people that were complaining, they didn't put 5 on it. They refused. 19 million people less voted. So it's like, you know, you didn't vote. I don't want to hear what you have to say. It's like, if we got a pizza and everybody put 5 on it, you didn't put 5 on it, but you got the most fucking opinions. Bitch, you don't even get to choose if we eat pizza. You didn't even put it on this. I don't care about what you have to say. You know, so I am really to that point. I'm like, for me to kind of calm a lot of the things I have on in my brain, I'm like, okay, yes, cry, yes, scream, be upset, be depressed, go through the stages of grief. The problem is there's nothing that we as a populace can do until 2 years from now.
And that's if we get the vote 2 years from now.
Agreed.
Oh my God, another plane crash. Okay, that's a hell of a transition. They got the dummy in the Oval Office signing frivolous EOs while Elon Musk raises Social Security and Medicare offices to get in the systems that hold trillions. People don't realize we're in trouble. P.S. Did y'all see that ad about undocumented immigrants that the White House posted? It was about Selena Gomez crying for migrants. They had the victims' families in there asking why isn't she crying for them? When I tell you, I was shocked. I keep thinking the bar can't get lower, but it can. I know I'll need a new journal for the year. I can't keep up with all this crap. Y'all be safe. Stock up on your faves, Steph. Yeah, I mean, you do sound shocked. And I think what's happening is shocking. I don't think you're crazy at all. Yeah, I guess I'm not shocked. Maybe I just had a very low opinion, and as things are happening, there are things that I thought would happen. I wish I could share in your shock just so that you won't, because I'm sure writing in you want us to feel some level of something, or maybe you want to hear some calming things. I don't have any inspirational calming things to say to you. I think this is exactly what I thought would unfold, and in the order that it's unfolding, and I just think it's gonna get a lot worse than this. So hold on to your hats if you can, because this shit is bad.
Yeah, and I will continue to say it didn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
And I will continue to say that everything that's happening, I'm looking at other people and say it didn't have to be this way. All these people complaining about shit that didn't matter, it didn't have to be this way. All these people that needed a reason for this and a reason for that and why they wouldn't vote Democrat, it didn't have to be this way, because at the end of the day, the people that voted are the people that matter, and this is what they decided to do.
Yeah. Also, I just don't feel like repeating myself every day. Y'all know how we felt. And y'all know how we feel. So it's just at some point, for my own sanity, I don't want to be on this show. I know it gives people a feeling of like, oh, they're ranting, or emotionally I'm connecting with the fact that you're as upset as I am, but I don't want to do a show where I have to be upset 5 days a week.
There's shows out there for that.
To communicate that. I'm sure it'll come up throughout the years as we talk anyway.
Right.
But just like, even just like keep up with the news to the second, like a plane crash and it's Trump's fault. Yeah. I that was not above, to me, that is not anywhere close to out of the realm of what I thought would happen if he came into office. Right. And I know it's like a plane crash. I'm not saying I thought specifically a plane crash, but it's gonna be a lot of shit like that when you do the things that him and Elon Musk and these people said they want to enact.
Right. No, I'm about to say, Mary brought up a thing, and I said this when Biden was in office. I like boring, because I think when Biden was in office, people had a tendency to forget how chaotic Trump, because, like I said, mind of a goldfish. I was like, I like having a competent president. I like just being able to live my life and not worry about if shit on fire. Like, I enjoyed this. I don't have to have this excitement, these things constantly happening around me to fucking feel alive. I don't need that in my life. Yeah, this isn't the
third act of a Star Wars movie. You're not, voting's a civic duty. You're not supposed to feel like a hero.
Right.
But these motherfuckers need to feel like heroes. They got a hero complex. They need to see us down bad before, well, not everybody, but at least 19 million people feel like they got to see us down bad before they can get the credit for rallying like it's fucking D-Day or some shit. Like y'all are storming the beaches of Normandy, when it's like, motherfucker, this is just your job as a citizen. Just go vote.
Right.
I wasn't asked for a pat on the back for voting. And I wasn't gonna pat you on the back for voting. Maybe that's the problem. Right. Everybody need their dicks up.
Right. And voting is not something that's supposed to fucking make me feel good. And too many people
I won't say that. I feel good when I vote, but it's just not, it's just, there's a certain type of person that wants to be a hero for it. Like, I saved the country.
Different. Yes.
And clearly that's what the fuck 19 million people was waiting on, is like some I saved the country shit. And now they're yelling at Democrats like, do something. And I'm like, you are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. You can't do something when you're not in power. And maybe y'all guys feel better when these Democrats like AOC or somebody does an Instagram live and they're upset and they're yelling. But just like how I don't feel like yelling just because Steph was feeling panic in the last email, I don't see why these motherfuckers should be doing it either. That's not going to save us. Everyone needs to grow the fuck up and accept that with a smooth, calm, rational mind and some motherfucking fortitude, we can get through shit together. But that's it. Not it don't have to be a party all the time.
Right.
Sometimes it's just like, no, I have resolve. And resolve is I'm not going to just hand this country over. But We did what we did.
Right, and it also is one of those things. I do what you get it. When I mean it don't have to make me feel good. Like you said, I don't need a pat on the back. I don't need a cookie. I just need to be able to just go and say this is what I need to do. Like I don't need a star. I don't need a like. Like I don't need.
I like
those
the stickers.
Things.
Okay, I like the stickers. So I do need that. If I go vote and I don't get that sticker, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. I can't agree with you.
You take that personally.
I can't agree with you.
It's a personal attack.
Yeah, it means something. I'm gonna take that picture after too. Every time.
Me too. I like the pictures.
Voting feels good to me. I'm not even saying it's about feeling good. It's something else with these people. They need to feel like heroes. It's a difference.
Okay, now that is different. And I guess that's what I'm trying to express. My bad. Yes, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to express.
I'm not coming up the bat in the ninth inning and we're down 2 with 2 outs and being like, I saved the democracy. Like, no. I want to hit a home run every time or whatever the fuck.
Every time.
It's crazy. I voted in off-cycle elections. I voted in my primaries. Like, this shit means something, man. It's sad that it don't mean something to so many people.
Agreed.
Stupid motherfuckers. Keisha writes in, just a random couple thoughts. As all the executive orders are disrupting my profession, she's a librarian, I just want to thank you for your podcast. You do a good job providing nuance and providing words I can't think of saying. I'm just so mad, scared, etc. that all I can get out is primal schemes, so I force myself to be quiet. Thank you. Secondly, I have a dream whereas my family, you both, and I were at Scammy Mega Church, and in it, the pastor tried to insult those of us who attended HBCUs. The way I jumped up to defend you two, LOL, you had me hold back. You had to hold me back from fighting the pastor. Well, don't do that. Okay. I don't know what kind of church that is, though. They hating on HBCUs.
Like, what kind of church is this?
Where you going? Thanks again for your podcast. I'm coming up on my 10-year anniversary with the Blackout Tips, Brooklyn Shoe Bag. Thank you.
Oh, the librarian. We got several librarians.
You know, tonight is actually at the Hornets game. They're celebrating HBCUs. So this will be the first time I'm not wearing Hornets gear. But HBCU stuff.
Yeah, well, my favorite state stuff.
So I'm think I might actually wear this shirt for Hillman, for the different world. So we'll see.
In my mind, that was a HBCU.
It was.
It sure was.
So I know my parents love me. All right, y'all. That's it. We'll talk to you guys.
We get something.
We got something in the mail. Sorry. Thank you, Karen. We got a couple more, I guess the last 2 cards. This says the happiest of New Year on the back. There's flowers on the front. It's from Erin. Okay, I know her. She's always sending me stuff on Instagram. I think she plays like the ukulele and all this stuff. It's like a cool hippie. All right. Wishing you and those. So the cover is like a hummingbird on some flowers. Probably native to Hawaii, I would guess. And it says, it was handmade. This card was lovingly handmade by Erin. Okay.
Oh.
Wishing you and those dear to you a year of peace, health, and happiness. Happy New Year, Rod and Karen. I hope you have enjoyed a wonderful holiday season surrounded by loved ones. As we begin a new year, I wanted to take a moment again to let you know how much I appreciate both of you and how much I love your podcast. May 2025 be a year of excellent health, unbounded joy, deep contentedness, and so much goodness and grace for you and all your dear ones. All of my best, Erin. Thank you, Erin. That's very nice of you.
Thank you.
And then this one, it looks like it's from Leslie. And I think this is officially our last holiday card, guys. So take it in, okay?
Yeah, hopefully
Big shoes to fill on this one.
Who knows? The mail is slow, so ain't no telling.
It looks like a polar bear playing with 2 penguins and one of them has like a Christmas ornament. The polar bear has on a scarf, and I imagine it's about to eat those penguins, those delicious snacks.
Oh, please, no.
Polar bears, apex predators. The only predator to a polar bear, another polar bear, according to Appia. The world's a merrier place because of you. Thank you for another year of laughter and heartfelt conversations. I'm so thankful for your podcast and care y'all put into it. And I don't have to tell you all to keep at it, but definitely keep taking care of yourselves. We love and need your voice in good and bad times. Thanks again for all you do. Happy New Year, Leslie. Hugs and kisses. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. We'll be back throughout the week. That's it. Thanks for listening. Live show tickets, don't forget, coming up last day of this month, the 28th. So make sure you get the live show tickets. And I'll put that link for the GoFundMe's for the black families in the show notes as well. All right. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Agreed.